In theory.
In theory, but no. You're still showing us offline.
That's
on
because
Twitch.
it takes you the delay time to get it. So, how are we doing now?
Hey, live now. Yep.
Good. Okay, pop that there. Let me just throw some of these out.
I audible and travel the worlds. That's not what I expected, but okay.
What, sorry?
What was that, Adri?
I see an ad, basically.
Yeah.
It starts with an ad for me, so I
Ah.
was joking about it.
I see. Oh, I'm getting feedback. Who was that?
Oh.
Let me just dump this in the last of the places. There goes. There are too many of these places now. Okay, that should be us. Okay, dokie. Also, hello. Hello from Crowland. How's it going, Connor? Hello. Right, so back to actually starting our game. This is The Keepers of the Golden Gate, session 56. It is the 17th of July 2020. I'm Ryan, the GM, and here are the players.
Hello, I am Adrian, and I play Arya Bluebird, the half-elf druid.
Hello, I'm Sean. I play Bastiel, the Warforged cleric.
Hi, I'm Scott. I'm playing Crumbar, a half-orc paladin.
And that is currently our roster until Sophie joins us later.
I was so tempted to just pretend to be Sophie.
No. Oh god, no. I don't even want to know what the...
I just knew.
Yes. No. Mostly no.
Maybe if she's not here for the next half, I will.
And we still don't have our new joiner yet, Claire. She should hopefully be joining us next time, if all syncs up well and we get our characters sorted. Beyond that, what do you guys remember from last session?
Oh, last session was fun. I did a lot of just walking about for Zadreka.
Yeah.
And actually for Zadreka. For a change.
We linked up with her, used the teleporter.
The real Zadreka.
Went to IROC. Stayed in the Golden Order, I guess, sanctuary.
Yep.
There.
Deserted.
Kitty and Thumbelina went and got some badass food.
Thumbelina? Do you mean Don Drabella?
That one.
The NPC you all asked to have.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one. Yeah. And we seen at the end we seen not Zadreka. What was her name again?
You'll get there.
Yeah, I thought it was Dracana, but I'm like, why does that sound wrong?
Also, hello, RX Oliver. Hello, welcome. Yes, so it was Dracana that you saw, or at least thought you saw down an alleyway. Yep, at the end. Anything else?
Oh wait, didn't Bastille nearly die? Or was that the session? But yeah, that was last week, wasn't it?
I mean, I think he was told he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no nearly.
Because you tried to basically like.
Welcome, Otter.
Like, yeah, like you're like, hi, thing that keeps me alive, out you come.
Yep.
Yeah. I either wanted to see what would happen without it, or if it would take me to the dimension it's from. The realm it's from.
Nope, turns out it just straight flatlines you.
Yeah. I'll try it again when I have a power source, I guess. But yeah, and then also Arya went bug hunting.
Oh my god, Arya went insane bug hunting. It was so funny.
Yep, that's true. Very true. Let's
think
see.
you'd have forgotten that, but no.
No, don't be daft.
No, because Crumber generally thinks you've lost your mind. It's funny.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know about spell components, so it's not really like that bizarre that people would need to find things to cast spells. So,
Mm.
aye.
Yeah, but she was just collecting bugs in a very manic way.
I mean, that's just Arya for you, though, right? Yeah. 1 second. So, RX Oliver, I am the DM.
See, usually I plan.
Carry on.
Usually I plan to be the crazy person in a group, but somehow I ended up, at least in Scott's view, being that person.
Yay!
Mhm.
I feel like I'm helping.
I feel like my hair's getting in the way. 2 seconds. There we go. Majestic. Anything else that we've missed from what happened last time?
We learned that Magna declared war, essentially, or we've been told that declared war on basically all things godly and divine, or basic yeah.
Has he though? Like, I feel like you weren't told that at all. I feel that's maybe a bit of
No,
a wee fib.
was. Yeah, that was the.
I was just thinking, like,
That
when
was Kandrel's
What?
kind of take on it, but not. It wasn't direct. It was like as if.
What are
I
you?
don't think
What
she
is? I
was-
literally have no idea. Then, like. I
So-
don't understand.
Kandir, right, aka the White,
Yes.
she said that it seemed like Magna, the Wizard King of the world, had declared war on, I think her exact words were, on us. And that was it. It was very vague and ominous, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It was a vague thing.
Oh,
it wasn't.
right.
What? So,
He
Bastiel,
has declared war.
Bastiel, what you might be confusing a lot of this with is the fact that Magna, the Wizard King of the world, is not particularly fond of people needing gods in their life.
Yeah.
You know, he's very not pro-religion. You could say he's anti-religion, in fact.
Exactly. He's literally like, yeah, whatever. Okay.
you could say he's a giant dick with a crown.
He's literally anti-religion. Is it really such a leap to say he's declared war on religion? Like, is that a lie? Is that
Yes,
a leap?
because one is you saying, I am not fond of people worshipping, but I'm not stopping you. The other is saying death to the gods, and the gods might not like one of those, right?
Who's he? Okay.
Right? There's extremes there, right? There's a lot of like gradients in
I mean,
that.
I feel like declaring war on all things is kind of an extreme. Is it such a leap?
I feel like
Yeah, it was-
your leap here is between Kandir saying on us versus all things, right?
I just, yeah, I love it how it's like, oh yeah, he's at war with us. That must mean he hates everything and everything must burn.
No.
I mean, we've all woke up and hated everything, right? We have all woke up and hated everything. So maybe it's one of those days for Magna. Poor guy. Oh dear. Yeah, I feel like that's a chunk of stuff, right? That's a good recap, right? So
Mhm.
I had a chat with the White. She vanished. Spoke a wee bit about Magna's war, and then you was all teleported over to High Rock. Followed Crumbar around High Rock for some reason, and he's pointed down in the alleyway at somebody with silver hair. So, yeah, and he's shouted to Kana, angrily,
Mhm.
probably because it's Crumbar.
And she punched me through a tree.
I mean, pushed. But yes, she did throw you through a tree. And we left it there. Let us review the goals we have for now, and I'll say this again on the stream for everybody watching. We're going to move the goals solely to the end of the sessions from now on, so I have a week to prepare for them, and we're not just doing them last minute at the start of the session. But currently, our goal list is investigate who or what the Mistress of the Flame is, make it to the Queen's Wood, gain an audience with the Elf Queen, successfully acquire the Elf Queen's aid with the Abyss problem, and one of our goals is blank.
I would like to make that goal get revenge
No,
on
Benjamin.
Dakana and push her through a tree.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want that to be the goal, why not?
No, I think but in all seriousness, I think a goal should be get Dakana to help at the Abyss.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was
Obviously,
gonna say,
she'd be
that might
powerful.
the thing.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
you want
But
maybe Dakana to help at the Abyss because she has the power to push you through a tree.
And dart away with lightning.
Yes.
That's like a whole quest line though, and we're like on the way to. We're in the middle of one.
I mean, we can at least hear her out.
Attempt. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's put that down.
You know, like, because it could literally be a case of, like, Bastille, I think I don't know, I'm coming back through somebody's.
I can't hear feedback, so it's not on this side. I don't understand who it's from, so I am unsure, buddy.
Test.
So you were
That's
saying?
so weird.
I used-
Anyway, what I was saying was, I mean, it could be something as simple as, like, bring me a bottle of wine. Or it could be like, travel across the globe and then do all this stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, screw her. But, you know, it's like, may as well try and find out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
she be powerful with things. It'd be silly just to walk away from her. End of the day, if we are going to end of the day, we either get her help or I push her through a tree to get revenge.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy with trying that. I like this character. Seems powerful. Do more stuff with that.
Adri,
but
what's your
also-
input?
We need the Black Fang spear still.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
So I mean that could be a goal. Work on that.
hmm
Yeah. What's the thoughts then? What goal are we settling on?
Well, the can is here, the Black Fang Spear isn't, so I'd say.
It's when you turn this
you know.
person round and it's just Eramos in a silver wig.
And then I'm gonna absolutely. I think
Do
at that. I think at that point I just alt F4.
Me too,
Okay.
buddy.
But the sad thing is now, because you've said it, I know you're not gonna do this.
I don't think I'd ever have done the old,
Crazy,
it was a guy in a wig the whole time thing anyway.
The old switcheroo.
The old switcheroo. It's a tried and tested method, to be fair.
Yeah.
So,
goal in words. What's that? Like negotiate with Dakana to aid our cause.
I think convincing her might be a bit better, because negotiate kind of implies us giving her something, and we don't really have much to give, I reckon.
But do we have enough favor with her to not give her something to do this?
I mean, I think going on our last
She might do it
conversation.
for honor.
Before
Okay.
our last conversation, I reckon we might have enough to get her to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Okay. Do that then.
interesting. I like this. Okay.
Because that's code for that's not what happened last time at all. But yeah.
There's GM tells, right? There are definitely GM tells, and
Amazing.
it's
I knew
100%
it.
not one of those, honestly. Yep. However, okay, so all of this joy, right? All of the joys of all of this. How about we write something in?
In some way, Mr. Carter aid our cause in some way. Right?
Yeah. How would you spell the canon?
There's an NPC list
Canada.
for this reason.
I'm already typing it in.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I was also
Shall
thinking.
get stuff done. Hello.
I'd say just say get the Dakana to help with the Abyss.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Aren't you glad I don't make you write in your methods for the goals as well?
Yes, I know. It's
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
but-
I mean, do I really look like a guy with a method?
There are so many things to say to that I won't, because it's
I'm
yep. That's as far as I can go with that sentence. Anyway, I think so we've got a goal, right? Read the goal to me. What's the exact wording you're going to settle on?
Get Takana to help with the abyss.
Okay, cool. That's good, because that could mean a bunch of stuff that ultimately leads to helping the abyss, right? So you've got a bit of scope with that, which is
Yeah.
good. Because goals with scope is good. Very restrictive goals with very specific ways and contingent on multiple factors, not good.
I can't see the goal you've put in. I'm
Same.
going to refresh.
That's because it's not in
Again?
yet. Yeah, now it's there.
Yay!
Good.
Hey, it could. I mean, it could be as simple. Like, could be something like as well. Like, her helping with the abyss doesn't necessarily mean she needs to be there personally. She could literally be like, right, okay, well, here's a lightning bolt of Zeus
Yeah, I
that
was
will,
just thinking
Mhm.
help close.
Yeah,
You know,
Fraser.
Or,
yeah.
she's rich. She might have people that are in her service that are not currently being.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
old rich woman thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
she was
No,
pretty
I'm
damn
just
wealthy.
thinking, she probably has a lot of, security people and kind of yeah, actually, I don't need 12 people security for my massive villa. I could send 6 away to this
So,
thing if it's so bad.
are yous forgetting, and by that I only mean Cromborn, are ya, that remember what Eric realised after she left the party?
That nobody had actually known who
Yes.
she was.
Yeah, like the Saphir family don't have a daughter.
Have a daughter. Yeah, that was it.
Yes. So it's a very key piece of information in that she's rich conversation.
Mhm.
Yeah, Dakana Saphir, had she existed as a person in the world, would definitely be
Right.
rich.
yeah,
I
totally
am
thought about
I am trying to remember, but did, for instance, me, Arya, and Kitty know that information? I cannot remember if Eric
Yeah.
shared it with us.
Yeah, he said it at the time because that's what made
Okay,
him.
right.
That's what led him to using the hammer to get back to his sisters because he thought they were in danger because of how much time Dakana spent with his sisters.
Yes.
And then
Oh,
obviously,
yeah, that's how we brought down the house. Yeah,
yes, that's how
what
he
I
brought
remember.
down the house. Yep. The house was under the hammer. It was over the hammer. There were hammers involved. There were houses involved. It was a plummeting property market.
I mean, you know me, of course I have
mean-
to say it that way.
Arya turned into a panther.
There was
Good times.
Pantharia. Yep. So, based on none of that, are you happy with the goal?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So, moving swiftly on in that regard. And I'm coming back. I think that was on Shan's though, because I think he was clicking. At least that's
No.
what came through.
Oh, I'm standing next to a
Clicky,
window,
clicky.
listening to owls.
I see.
Look,
The owls are not what they seem.
Alfio?
Yeah.
Right, so yous 3 are in High Rock. Yous are standing outside an alleyway. And what happens? Talk me through it. We've had Crombar just stop dead in his tracks looking down the alleyway because he caught a glimpse of some, light hitting off some silvery blonde hair. And yeah, he thinks
I will just
he can see Dakana Saphir.
eyes kind of scared or grab Arya's shoulder and be like, "Is that who you think it is?" And just kind of point towards maybe Dakana.
I will be looking. And I don't know who he thinks he is, but I'll be looking kind of that way. Like
Mhm.
who?
Like the silvered-haired woman. Is that not Dakana? And when I say that, I just kind of rub my chest a bit, and just yeah.
I don't know. Can I tell? Do I need to roll something?
You remember you were helping him look around, so I think you could spot it and just like, yeah, I mean, from a distance, it does look like Dakana.
Yeah, I guess it does look like her. Why don't we go say hi?
Yes. Hi. That's what I have to say to her. And yeah, I guess we'll just
Then
start.
don't be a big baby.
Just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like scare Arya and just
If
kind of.
anything, you should appreciate it that a woman is able to kick your butt every so often.
New goal. Fight Arya again.
Sorry, what? What'd you say? I didn't hear.
I said new goal. Fight Arya again.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to burn to a crisp?
PvP.
I mean, that would just kind of confirm my theories. So, no, yeah. So, anyway, sidetracking. Yeah, I'll just kind of.
So just when Sophie comes back in part 2, and all three of you are just fighting, and like Bastiel's in the middle of this, just holding both of their foreheads apart.
I'll just be like, hey, Sophie, so if you could just go ahead and roll for initiative, that'd be great. Yeah, so I'll just kind
Problem
of.
is, would she help me or would she?
Does that even need answered?
No, because she gets two attacks per turn, so she'd just shoot one into each of you. Obviously. Gonna edge your bets, right?
Yeah.
Or she's gonna Burning Hands the group, you know? That's what she'd do. So,
Right, I will just start walking up towards the canna.
yeah, so you start marching down this alleyway, and then the kind of group of people, that, like, as you're kind of getting closer, you see this group of people, you know, kind of like street urchin-y type people. Compared to how like wealthy this entire city is, it's strange to see people of like a kind of, you know, less wealthy or well-to-do background. Because it's very upper class. Like, it's not like Glitterhagen where you've got various stages of living conditions. Like, the people at the lower city of Glitterhagen are, you know, what you call working class to poor, and then you've got the nobles of upper class. Whereas in this one, it's pretty much all rich people that can afford to live here, and they have enough money to make sure no poor people can live here. If you can take the hints on that, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you're saying is basically my thing.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it's High Rock.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I also had a weird hiccup in the middle of all that, so I don't know
That's
if it
okay.
was clear enough.
So, given that, right, so as you are like, are you all marching down this alleyway, or is it just Crumbar?
I'm watching from a distance. Again, this is another powerful entity. They know I don't.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Arya, you following Crumbar, or are you leaving him to it?
Yes, because the last time they met up, Crombar was a little bit emotional. And I don't mean that in a crying way, just in the angry way. So I don't know what would happen if they meet up without somebody to run interference. So I will definitely be going there with him.
So yeah, you both head down the alleyway then, right? And
Yes.
like this silver-haired lady to your, like, with her back to you, it seems like she's like in deep conversation with, like, you know, maybe half a dozen varying people, again, in kind of somewhere between poor and shady clothing, right? And then
Sure.
they all kind of like get wind, like do that thing where they're nodding to their leader, with their chins, you know, indicating somebody's coming, and they all like scarper away. They all just run away. So
Free!
they do that, and then
What about her?
no, she just turns round to regard who's.
Okay, cool.
She turns round to regard who's there, and sees both of you, and kind of narrows her eyes a little bit. Very, very kind of sharp blue, piercing the darkness of the alleyway, and says, "Can I help you?"
And I'll just be like,
Is it Takana?
Nope.
yeah, actually, that's a good point. Is it her?
By this point, we probably are able to tell. Like, we're close enough if we can see her eyes kind of getting a bit tinier.
It is not Takana. You could be forgiven because she is not a million miles away. from Takana, but it is not.
Hmm.
Ryan,
A goal.
Alt F4. I'll just.
Hey, I
like,
told you, you make a goal about assumptions, right? Maybe it should have been identify whether this person is Takana. Hmm?
yeah, that is what the goal was.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Don't make me lock the goal screen from now on.
Oh.
I'll be like, sorry, like just kind of like a wee bit like, oh, like step back and be like, sorry, but who are you?
Do you often approach strangers in alleyways and ask who they are? Armed so heavily?
I'll pipe in and say, my apologies, my friend here does not quite know manners. We thought you looked like somebody we know, and we just wanted to say hi, but well, you're. And I turn towards Crumbar. She's not the Kana. Let's go. Apologies, ma'am. And I kind of like try to look if me saying she's not the Kana, if that's like any reaction to her.
He just raises an eyebrow, right? And she says, so I am not the friend you're looking for.
I'll just say that depends. Who are you?
I give him a look, kind of like, oh my god, could you be more rude? I'm like,
Yep.
She looks you up and down, and she kind of looks Arya up and down, as if trying to gauge how much danger she's in, right? And she regards Arya, and she says, I was to believe all of the paladins had went south. Is this not the case?
Hmm.
we're on a special mission. Apologies, ma'am. Can't say any more.
Of course,
And
I
Arya
can.
just hopes that.
And she kind of like nods respectfully, and she says, I can understand this. And she looks at you, Crumbar, again, piercing blue eyes, right? Sapphires have nothing on these, And she says,
Bloody hell, they could be sisters, couldn't they?
and she says, your rudeness is forgiven, Paladin. No harm has happened. Let us keep it that way. High Rock is not so kind to outsiders. She kind of just smiles at you. Not like in a menacing way, but in a very kind of pleasant, polite, She's obviously somebody wealthy enough to know when it's polite to smile at somebody,
Mm-hmm.
Like a well-practiced smile.
Do her eyes actually emit light? When you say piercing, just shut the darkness.
I mean, no. Because that's
Oh.
mad, Bastiel. Eyes don't do that. In a fantasy game? Are you mad?
Ridiculous.
Upon
She's a witch!
Only if she
like,
weighs the same as a duck.
upon like obviously closer observation, does she look a lot like the Kana? Like, do they look like they could be sisters?
Like, from a distance, you can understand why Crumbar thought this was Takana. 100%, yeah. Like, this woman looks maybe a bit older than Takana, right? Like, mature, like,
Okay.
like more... What's the word? I guess just weathered, maybe more, I guess. Like, if Takana looked like she was maybe 20 to 25, right? This person looks like they're 40, right? Like,
Or
do you know what I mean by, like, the way you can get a very gracefully aged woman
Yeah.
versus you've got, somebody who's clearly just youth is still with them very much so. Like, don't have to do anything to have their skin just kind of be soft and glowing, whereas this person's, like, settled in to starting to mature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would just say.
so she's just the best skincare available, but you can still say she's kind of 40. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I would just say to her, I was like, well, apologies for my rudeness. Must be that your eyes especially have caught me off guard. They are very striking.
So you've moved to flattery, I see.
Merely observations.
She smiles.
Speaking-
She smiles quite widely at that when you say merely observations, and says, "You are quite the talented diplomat."
I'll just smile back and say, on the topic of observations, and just kind of like gesture to the kind of, you know, homeless beggary people that you were explaining about. And it's like,
Oh, they're gone. Like they're long gone. They
Huh?
they left
oh,
before
right.
you even approached.
Right, like all of them are gone.
Yes.
Right, I'll just say then. I'll be like,
And I never said homeless. I said shadily dressed poor people.
okay, I am. The people you were speaking to, they're not the type of people I would have expected to find in High Rock. What are they doing here?
You ask a lot of questions for someone who has not even offered their name. She narrows her eyes a little bit and she turns to like Arya and she says, "Is your business official in High Rock? Have the dangers and rumours reached so far north?"
I look towards her and say, "Apologies, madam. My friend here is not very. He's not one for manners. He's got a specific skill set. And, he's how do I put this? Not well versed in the finer aspects of comportment." And I basically then start introducing us. My name is Arya Bluebird, and this is Crombar Benedict. And apologies, I can't discuss our mission at all. We are in transit, and initially we noticed you because we thought you looked like somebody we know. Our friend, the Canis of Fear. And again, I look if there's any reaction in her face to that. And then obviously we saw you with people that we weren't really sure if they were perhaps putting you in any sort of danger. So we just thought we'd come and make sure that you're safe. But you do seem to be absolutely fine.
As you say that, it's like before you carry on, as you say that, like her shoulders kind of relax a little bit, and she says, she's staring at you, and she's just kind of like smiles to the point where like a laugh escapes her, and she says, "So you are my would-be rescuers, in fact. How fortunate for me to have two of the Golden Order's finest rush to my rescue." She smiles.
And I'll just kind of cut in and be like, "And what is it you need rescuing from?"
And she just kind of like screws up her face and she looks back at Arya. "I understand his function perfectly now."
I kind of like shrug, kind of like, it is what it is sort of thing.
She kind of nods and closes her eyes and like does that kind of very "I understand" nod. Yep. Just in case Scott, sorry, let's just time out for a second there, just in case Scott didn't get that. Yeah, she basically just commented on the fact that yous have air quote rushed to her rescue in case there's people.
Right.
I realised like you have missed that, which made it funnier. Because you've now said, "What do you need rescuing from?" It's like, no, you told me I need rescued.
Like that's what I was confused. Right, yeah, I get where you're coming from there.
It's almost like communication and listening skills are sadly both needed in tandem sometimes, but don't worry. We'll get there. Yep.
What was that,
100 damage.
Yeah, guys, it was nice playing with you. Bye!
Hey man, you can survive 100 damage, right? No?
I can actually. Relentless endurance.
What's your health total? What's your health total?
Health total 70, I think.
Oofed. Yeah, you can survive that, no bother, buddy.
No, 60.
Yeah, you still can survive it. As long as you were 51 health, you were fine. You're sorted. It's just mad. But yes, so anyway, she again kind of smiles and nods at you, Arya. What were you saying to her, sorry?
Basically, we agreed that he's got a function. That he does not. She did not need rescuing. Trying to figure out how to say this now. Because I mean, we're not in a bad neighborhood. These just happen to be like slightly more under the usual standard of clothing dressed people, right?
Like,
Something.
yeah, they look like they've dressed themselves to kind of blend in with the shadows, right? Like, we're not going to use the word
Sure.
ninjas, right? But we're going to use the term people that don't want to be spotted easily. And
Sure.
And it's almost like it's been like the equivalent of someone using soot to stain a burlap sack and wrapping it around them, like tailored to actually fit like clothing, but at the same time it's not exactly wealthy, right?
Sure. No, because I was thinking if we were actually in a bad neighborhood, I could have like
The thing about High Rock is there
Offered.
isn't a bad neighborhood in High Rock.
exactly.
That was like it was built based on that principle, right? That this is where you come when you have money and you don't need to deal with other people.
Hmm.
It definitely attracts a certain type of person to High Rock.
I was hoping that you'd say, "Oh no, we are in a bad neighborhood," actually, because then I could have been like, "Oh, let us
Mm-hmm.
escort you home." But I don't have that sort of excuse now, you know.
I mean, you could still request to do such a thing for her if you wanted to.
Yes.
It just doesn't necessarily mean she's.
True. True.
That implies
Yeah.
she thinks. It implies you think she feels unsafe, right? Or was that too much to unpack?
Yeah. No. it's fine. It's fine. I'll then say. Actually, no. Fuck it. I'll say. Yes, we have.
Please just say that to her.
unfortunately
Fuck
made
it.
the-
Bye. It'd be so good.
We have unfortunately made the assumption, but if you do require an escort home, we'd be happy to provide that.
Oh, very kind of you both. And she looks at you, Crumbar, and kind of nods, and then looks back at Arya, and she says, am I to expect danger on my return? Has High Rock suddenly changed in nature?
No, we're just not from here, and we're not really sure how anything is, to be honest. So that's why I would always offer, like I said, especially because we weren't really sure if those specific people were supposed to be here.
She kind
I
of
want to
nods.
say they stood out, but
She like nods as
but
if like
totally
cutting you
didn't.
off, and she says, "If then you have a destination in mind, perhaps I could escort you both there. I know my way around the city quite well."
When I said I stayed back, does that mean did you take that as I'm out of earshot? I'll let you decide.
I don't know. How about you tell me, did you want to try and stay in Eastshore or not?
Yeah, I wanted to hear and discern who this person was from whatever Crumbar was going to say to her.
Okay, do you want to roll perception?
Okay.
We'll see how well you do. I feel like, she was deliberately being out of earshot, so I was about to say the difficulty is probably 12, so yeah. I think you can hear that they're speaking. So you can.
Okay.
So if you want to roll insight for me, I can give you a chance at understanding the tones they're using from a distance, right? Not necessarily what you're actually saying. Give me some insight.
I think that's alright. I'm just basically looking to see if she's a threat, so I know.
Yeah, hence the insight request. Yeah, because how would you know?
Oh, if she backs a katana. But okay.
Yeah, but you've also got two people in heavy armor blocking your view of her, right?
Yeah, but I will get in on the fight if there's a fight.
Isn't like taller than us though.
What? Sorry?
Ah.
It doesn't matter. These are all medium creatures, right? So yeah. Right. So you've got the enough knowledge about the tones of the conversation to know that it's relatively civil still.
Oh, civil. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what else would you describe the exchanges they've had thus far besides Crumbar being weirdly off tone?
Well, okay. Then I'll walk up to them and I'll ask them. I'll go, "What the bloody hell are you doing? Who is this person?"
I think she just looks up to regard you, and then says, "Is this a friend of yours? Or is this the danger of which you worry about?"
I'm so tempted to be like, "This is the danger! Attack!"
And I give you a hit on the arm, probably like the one bit that's not covered in armor, like kind of like punch it there, and kind of like stop it. There's no reason to scare civilians for nothing. And say, this is our colleague, this is our friend Bastille. Bastille, this is like hesitating,
Oh,
giving the lady the chance to
yeah.
introduce herself.
She kind of just blinks. And she says, "It's a pleasure to
This
meet you."
is-
Just nod. Okay.
Yes, we made a mistake. We thought she was somebody that we knew, so we just thought we'd come say hi, but it wasn't. Oh, we were just going to apologize and make our way back. I
Hmm.
can't remember where we were going.
Now,
I'll just kind of butt in and be like, because I still don't feel like we've had an answer for who those people were. We're like,
Yeah, it's almost
No,
like
she's
you
definitely
have.
given us no information.
It's almost
on
like.
purpose.
So yeah, Scott, it's almost like you are in no way entitled to any information, right? Weird that.
yeah,
I mean, she did ask if we're like here on official business, so if we'd outright lied and said yes, we need to know who you are, then probably she would have had to give us her name. But this way, she is a rich, entitled person that's used to not, responding to queries unless she wants to. So I'm guessing that's why we've not had much success.
Or maybe it's the fact that you've cornered a woman in an alleyway.
yeah.
Right.
It's
Well,
kind of not. It's very
I was
civilized.
trying not to discuss that aspect because I'm not very proud of it. Okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. Somebody will clip that,
Yes,
right?
I'll be like, apologies, ma'am. We should take our leave. Good day.
She kind of nods and she
kind of
says,
like nods. Kind of like
she says,
go
my
that way.
my offer still stands if you wish to be escorted somewhere. If you want someone that knows their way around the city.
Ooh. What
Where
about
are we
Queen?
going?
I-
I forgot.
but I know what to say. I'll say it's like, thank you. If we're to have an escort, could we please get your name?
Oh God.
And she smiles at you and she says,
Oh God.
I am still waiting on your introduction. Myself.
I thought Arya done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah. But you didn't.
I'll be like, apologies. My name is Crumbar Denebik of the Golden Order.
She nods, it is a pleasure to meet you, Crumbar Denebik of the Golden Order. And she says, and she looks up at you, Bastille.
Okay. And did I see the people she was talking to and stuff?
No. Nah, only those two because they got closer.
I think
Yeah,
it's
then
just a
I'm-
case of introduce yourself, bro.
Also,
Okay.
me introducing them didn't really do
This is so-
anything then.
So you gotta understand, from my point of view, this is very strange. You're talking to like a very normal woman on the street, and she kind of has you both by the balls.
It's super weird, right? I'm not gonna lie, I'm weirded out by it.
What? I don't care who this woman like. I mean, as Shana, I do. But
Mhm.
as Bastille, I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? Am I talking to
Mhm.
this? I'm like,
It's almost like
Uh,
she said, can I take you somewhere that I can then leave? Right?
yeah.
It's like, let me escort you to like the city gate, for example, and then I can leave. Yeah. She's willing to be polite, so it's like, yeah, High Rock, weird place, kinda safe for people to wander around and talk to folk in alleyways. And also, maybe a bit uncomfortable when somebody goes, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? In an alleyway. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
think she's
that's-
being pretty normal.
It's
The fact that
tricky
she
because
hasn't ran
I-
away, right? The fact that she hasn't ran away is quite a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have -1 charisma, but I have +6 insight. So it's kind of like, how do I really go about this?
Yeah, but charisma and insight are very different. You can understand what someone's about to do necessarily, or what they're like thinking and feeling through experiencing, or just understanding like human nature, as it were. No human puns intended, but like
Yeah.
you can understand that while not knowing how to convey it in a way that has the purpose intended. Because if you want to say something in a friendly way, charisma is required for that, just like if you want to say it
Yeah.
in an intimidating way. So, yeah, knowing what somebody's
I'll
thinking
take
isn't the
it-
same as conveying it.
Yeah. I'll take it as it's good to spread kind of a good reputation here, knowing what we've been told about Magnum, and
Mhm.
knowing that Yeah. So I'll introduce myself formally. So I'm Bastiel, Holy Cleric of Our Lady of Destiny. Friend to, and I'll say Orodak Durath, because I know he's got hella connections. I'll just throw that name out there.
And she kind of nods very politely. It is a pleasure to meet you, Bastiel. And then, repeats pretty much everything you say, right? And she says, Our Lady of Destiny, forgive me, I am not one for religion myself. However, I do not know of the Lady of Destiny.
I'll extend my hand. So, would you let me show you?
Is it safe? And she's kind of a little playful with the way she says that, right?
Of course.
Because this is still 3 people in an alleyway, wearing 2 of them covered in gold armor. One of them looking a bit like a disheveled tree, and the other one looking like an angry orc. Seems to be very directive in his actions. And then a big metal man with cool goggles welded into his face.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
So he's now going, let me shake your hand, lady, in this alleyway as you've muscled up behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she says, is it safe? And kind of gives that playful smile.
Yeah. Do I get the vibe that she, like mob boss energy, like she?
I don't know how you would get the what vibe is that? Is she wearing a fedora and she's got a bunch of guys hanging out the side of a Ford Model T going, yeah? Is that what you want to know?
Like very self-confident, as if nothing we could ever do.
100% you get the impression, right? You get the impression she is very comfortable in her city, right? Like, this would be intimidating as hell for anybody.
There it is.
She doesn't feel necessarily intimidated, but it doesn't mean to say that she isn't scared. She's maybe just good at not showing it, right? So don't assume because someone doesn't look scared doesn't mean to say they're not scared, right? Putting up a brave face is just about being good at projecting, right? She could just happily be quite deceptive about what she wants to project, because she doesn't want to be like, oh my god, I'm now scared and these 3 people could just mug me in an alleyway, right? Yeah. Thank you very much for the follow and the raid that is currently going on. Hello everybody.
Yeah.
It's
hello.
NMSS. Welcome.
Hi.
What up?
What a bunch of good folks. Welcome to the stream.
Indeed.
Thank you for the follows, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, sorry, you were saying, guys.
Is it safe? And I'll say, take a leap of faith. We're here now.
She kind of pulls her hand back at that and she says, she kind of smiles at you and she says, as I said, I am not one for faith, unfortunately.
A bit.
And she kind of nods, very politely, that slightly tilted nod, She says, my name is Cyril of High Rock.
Cool, that's in Cerulean. Blue.
Hey, I'll put it in chat if you want.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
And it's obviously of High Rock.
Of course.
Named after a rock.
Of course. I nod my head at that, kind of in acknowledgement of her name.
Oh, that's not the right spell.
Guys, where were we headed? Because I totally forgot.
That's we were looking for Dondrabella and Key.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And we don't exactly know where they went. We just knew they went and got food, essentially.
Yeah. So let's tell her that. We'll say I'll say it's a pleasure to meet you, Cyril. We are in fact lost. We are also in fact not from these parts. as you can definitely tell, I'm sure, because I know she's really confident and
Mhm,
mob
mhm.
boss. So I'll say we are looking for our friends, and I'll describe Don Jabella, say a reasonably tall dwarf, actually, right? Because she's like 5 something, right?
I think she was 5 on the nose, right?
Yeah, fairly tall for a dwarf, I guess.
Yeah.
Um.
Her people were
Isn't
surface
that-
folks, though.
And a wood elf, right? Full wood elf.
Yeah, she's a wood elf, yeah.
Yeah, a full wood elf.
Mhm.
Full wood elf, carrying far more than anyone would ever need to. We have no idea where to begin in this city. Finding them.
She says, I imagine your companions would be quite easy to locate given the nature of the denizens of High Rock. And she kind of like motions to herself because mostly we are human. We do house several dwarves of noble stature, but for the most part it is rare to see even yourselves. And she kind of like gestures to all of you, and she kind of looks at you, Arya, kind of pointedly, right? Because it's probably at a glance not the easiest to tell that you're a half-elf straight away, right? I think
yeah.
MD with sense, seeing how a bit eccentric looking you are, would probably assume Fey-blooded, but at the same time, they're probably like, maybe it's an assumption not a lot of polite people would make, put it that way.
And also probably my pointy ears are covered by big crazy hair. So yeah.
I'm just trying to think, what the hell would they think of me then?
You're in golden
Or
armor, buddy.
Bastille for that
Oh,
matter.
they can think you're an orc.
Yeah, but
You didn't really do good for any PR at all, did you, Crumbar?
Proper services already said that.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, yawned there
We
a
still
bit.
love you. It's fine.
Just a bit of lore.
Mhm.
Does like dwarves being on the in like the aristocratic elite here? Does that mean they turn their back on the dwarven king? Are they completely polar opposite, like worldviews and stuff?
That's again something a bit beyond the scope of the question, right? People that have money and want to feel important would move here, right? So, people in High Rock are the people that would start like new business ventures from nothing because they have the entire money to power the entire infrastructure of that. So let's say you wanted to build a new city, right? You would probably find that somebody from High Rock had the idea.
Hedge fund. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
it's not even necessarily that, like, let's say a noble family exists, right? Like, in fact, we'll use the example of the Saphir family because we know the Saphir family are based primarily in High Rock, or they were.
Yeah.
Like, and they moved a lot of their business, if you will, to Glitterhagen. But for example, somebody like, let's say the son, right? Within the Saphir family, he could decide with mum and dad's money, right? If they decide to vanish or pop their clogs or whatever, and he gets control over the entire empire, as it were, he could just decide one day, I feel like making my own name, so I'm not going to be, that kid of those two rich folk. I'm going to be the guy that founded Newport, the city to the south, right? So that's quite a big thing. So you'll find that most of the business that is like that fancy ink shop that the party went to back in session 3 would definitely have been made by somebody in High Rock. 100% that'll trace its ownership to somebody in High Rock.
That shop was awesome.
Yeah. So that's kind of how High Rock works, as I say. It is literally just primarily it's where the rich humans go.
Okay, so it doesn't say anything about their political alignment.
No, like you could be a dwarf that just wants the opinion of rich human nobles, and you want to go like all the fancy rich human, what's the word, pastimes, I guess. But it doesn't mean to say you don't care about your king. The problem is though that High Rock is under the rule of Magna, but so are all dwarves, right? Because they're part of the world, right? Dot.
Yeah. Okay then. I'm just trying to gauge if it would ever be a good idea to reveal the crown and what we're doing, and trying to get their aid on this. But maybe,
I would say no.
probably not. Yeah, because it's us or them.
I was gonna say, yeah, so you're looking for something to financial sponsor? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, literally.
Right, okay. hmm
Literally. But okay.
I love that you
Yeah.
meet this woman in the alleyway who's confident enough to stand her ground between the three of you, and then you're like, can you lead us to somebody with money?
It's the little things. She didn't shit on me for being like a fake guy.
She did
I
not,
still
no,
just-
she
I'm
didn't.
not gonna lie. I still want to know why all the kind of poor people are here.
There are no poor people here.
And
Well,
in,
The ones that she was talking to. What was it?
Yeah,
They
right.
were not poor. They were people that purposely wanted
Agents.
to.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were like her ears and eyes in town or
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Mhm.
It's almost like saying, who would meet with somebody with a bunch of randomly dressed shady people in a city mostly full of rich humans? Could it be potential that there's some strangers in town?
Oh my god! I bet you any money. Where's the? I'm even looking it up. I wonder.
You're making a lot of sense as usual.
I'm trying to find the thing.
I'm
I
enjoying it.
wonder if it's the
Sure.
Prince of Shadows.
ugh.
What, this 40-year-old woman?
Yeah,
I mean, why not, right? Nobody knows anything about the Prince of Shadows.
exactly.
Mm.
I'm the Prince of the Shadows.
Yeah, see? That is pretty much how those conversations go, by the way. See, especially in Shadowport, which is near Glitterhagen. It's on its own little island. It's where all the crime happens, primarily. In there,
Well,
that
I
is...
think there's crime happening here.
So, as I was saying, Crombar,
Mm.
in Shadowport, you can imagine every single time somebody gets too drunk, they become the Prince of Shadows, right?
Yeah.
That's 100%, somebody's cop-out. Like, you cheated at card games! The Prince of Shadows cheated at card games! I couldn't possibly have cheated,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boogeyman.
Hell yeah. I mean, she could be the boogeyman, right?
hmm
Welcome to Everyday in Chat.
Hi, chat.
What up?
Thank you for joining us.
So she knows who we're looking for.
Does she? I mean,
You don't
you've
wanna say?
I guess you've described them, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she says, if I can assist in any way, please allow me to. I would very much like to aid in your important quest. And she she smiles very politely again, it's not a big smile, it's just a very polite, acknowledgement of I have finished my sentence now.
Oh, so now we have to give her a concrete way she can help us.
Yes.
Basically. We could do with more eyes and ears. To be honest, such a big place.
Do you plan on staying within High Rock long?
I'll look at the others.
To be honest, we weren't, right? Like we
No.
wanted to.
No,
rest for a little while and head in the forest. Didn't
your
we?
plan was to boost and go to the Queen's Wood, just north,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
To go see the Elf Queen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't know if I want to say a name though. Right.
yeah,
Right now.
yeah. And so the lady in the the alleyway says, let's see if we can find your friends first. You are not of the Golden Order, am I correct in assuming this? And she gestures to the fact that you're not covered in gold plating.
Yeah. Put my hands together and bow. Correct.
Yes, I am ever so curious about this Lady of Destiny. But perhaps once you're... And she kind of pauses, as if she's maybe trying to process, and goes, perhaps once your quest is complete, you could return and we could discuss this further. I am ever so interested in learning about new cultures.
Yes. Okay. Hello. She is. It's really hard to describe Celeste.
It's deliberately designed to be hard to describe Celeste because she's indescribable, right?
Yeah.
She's a smoky, spooky lady with red glowing celestial nebula eyes. There you go. That has a habit of kidnapping people's destinies. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There, that
Oh,
was
so-
succinct, right?
Yeah, I'll say she is. She's ever willing to aid with, to aid those who will grasp at their destiny and seize control. And I'll cast guidance on myself.
Okay. And I think she kind of smiles at that, and obviously the glow from you is reflected in her eyes in the alleyway because there's not much light from the shade of the alleyway anyway. And she says, "Perhaps I've been kind enough to have been guided by the lady myself without my knowledge." She smiles and kind of like nods.
Oh, I'm flattered.
And she kind of gestures to
that's
the end of the alleyway, and she says, "Shall we try and find your colleagues then?"
Please.
And then she kind of looks back to Arya, because in her head, Arya's the leader of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though
Yeah.
that Bastiel is quite a close second at this point because of the interactions she's had with the three of you.
Oh, poor Crumbar.
the best.
Every time.
Crumbar is literally. just
It's
trying to
100%
think
not anything at all about poor Crumbar. Crumbar walked up to this woman and went, "What's your name, what's your name, what's your name?" With
Mm.
1% more tact than that. Yeah.
I still just want to know more, like about like.
I mean, walk and talk with the women then, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what
Social
to
up.
say. That,
You are a charisma primary character.
Oh, that's true. Hello, charisma.
yeah, just roll charisma and be like, "Tell me
No.
all of your things."
No, no.
No,
You
that's
can't just
not how it
attack her with
works. It's very
charisma.
unfun.
I rub
Why
my charisma
not?
dice up against you. No.
Attack with charisma. I love that.
Oh dear. It's maybe the session title.
I think I'm just realizing why I don't have a wife.
The charisma strikes back. Anyway, so, whew,
So good.
yes.
Um,
Meanwhile, back in the RP though, so she looks to Arya, and she says, "Are your colleagues also of the Golden Order? Are they attired so?" And gestures to like the fact that you're wearing gold plating.
Kitty is, isn't
One of
she?
them
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, Kitty is. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'll just say like one of them is. The other one is.
The tall one, the elf.
Yes, the other one is just a aged dwarf.
And she kind of smiles. She goes, "All people born are aged." And she kind of smiles politely at you, Crumbar.
I'll just say, well, older is what I guess I should be saying then.
Yeah, probably like actual descriptions like white hair, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, are you gonna give me a description, or are you gonna say white hair, etc.?
Yeah, I'm trying to find. I am trying to find the photo of her.
And just hold up photo. I carry this for no creepy reason.
Hmm there's the dwarf.
Do any of you actually have Eremos's book that had a picture of all of you in it?
Arya has
I-
it.
Remember, I know it started bleeding ink, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you took it after
last
we
thing
attempted
that-
to use
that-
a spell on
that-
it.
And
Yeah,
the-
but I think the last thing that was visible before that bled out as well is the photo, drawing of us all. So
Mm,
I don't think there's even a drawing of Kitty in existence anymore.
very possibly. And obviously, I cannot confirm or deny until you open
I
the
do
book.
remember picking it up with
That
like
yeah.
2 fingers though, so I think we do still have it somewhere. But
I would
I'm not
I would
still
assume one of
have-
yous have it for obvious reasons, right? Because it's you know
I'm the
kind of important.
sentimental one, so I'd be the one that
I
has
think
it.
I think if anyone was gonna have it, it would be you. So let's just have you look in it.
or not. It was just a potential reminder that these things exist, right?
Yeah, she's
Keep in mind,
definitely.
I'm not playing the game for you guys. I'm just telling you things your characters will know.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, in that case, I'll just go. Aria, do you not have that drawing in the book that Eremos did for us?
Not the book. Don't think it still had the drawing. And I'll look through my bag and produce it and open it.
So there
does
is my
open.
question. I was going to say, do you want to open it given what happened last time?
Do it.
Oh, Yeah. Let's
Do it.
Okay, so now it's just gonna splurge ink everywhere, right?
So you want to open this book in front of this woman in an alleyway, and you might end up attacking this woman with ink from the
Do
book
it.
in the
I'm
city.
hungry to beat Aramosa's skull in after
Mm.
what he did to the king.
So it just made a lot of. Wait, did anybody attack anybody when it was opened? I can't remember.
It smacked Crumbar into a door.
Yep.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Mm.
I'll make like 3 or 4 steps back and like open the book.
Okay. So yeah.
This is so not worth what we're trying to get out of it because we can't describe our
True.
own friend.
Oh,
But
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the thing.
yeah.
I think we would be better off just describing.
Do
Uh-huh.
it. Do it.
Right, so here's
the.
the choice. Let's decide definitively
Okay,
now. Are you
okay,
going to
okay.
describe them, or are you just going to open the book and hope for the best and
Okay.
kill
I'm
this woman with
actually gonna
ink?
That's better. It's better that I describe them, yeah, because
Mhm.
otherwise it could go badly.
Death by
Um,
ink in an
Okay,
alleyway.
so I'll.
Mm.
No, but she might kill us if we fuck up her pretty clothes that are likely to be expensive AF.
Mm.
Smart.
Anyway, so I'll be like, well, our friend Kitty's about yay tall, and I point with my hand about
Mhm.
where Kitty is,
Mhm.
and she's an elf, and I'll start telling her she's got hair like this, and she's got eyes that are like violet. I know she had violet eyes when she was the Baxi. I don't know if she still has violet eyes actually.
Probably.
Okay.
But you can say you describe what her
And-
eyes look like, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she's dressed head to toe in golden order and gold plated things, and she's got gold weapons hanging from her back and at her hip and at her sides, and I'll describe because I'll probably remember all her little like if she has like knives and stuff in a like belt at her waist. I'll be like, and she's got this and this and this on her waist, and she's got a not tinker's pack, you know what I mean, like a traveler's pack. It's like this color, and it looks bulging. It looks like it barely ever closes. And I'll just go on and on and on and on, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, and our friend Androbella, she's dwarf, and she's got a shield. I think she would have had it with her. I don't know if she had it with her.
Mhm.
She was just going for dinner. I don't know. if
Yeah,
she
she
would-
went out
was
with the
taking it
intent to
with-
hunt, I think, right?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'll be like, yeah, she has a shield and a sword, and she's about this tall, and she's got white hair, and the two of them together, they're definitely going to be a sight to some people. Well, most people, I'd imagine, especially in sunlight.
It's kind of like when you say especially in sunlight, and she kind of like raises an eyebrow at that. Yes, quite, and just smiles like politely again. Shall we perhaps leave this alleyway for
Sure.
sunlight? And kind of just like, again,
Yes.
she's somewhere between possibly absolutely terrified and teasing, right?
Sure.
Because I think that's the third time she's been like, let's leave this alleyway, please.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Okay, yeah,
Um,
let's go, because
Yeah,
poor
and
thing.
how are you doing this, right? Because she's obviously going to walk ahead to lead you, but is somebody going to walk with her and two of you walk behind, or are we going to do some kind of crazy like power walk where you all stand in a line?
I'll walk with her.
Oh God, of all the people, yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I would have been probably the best one to walk with her, but anyway.
Let's see this
Oh.
through.
Let's say, for example, perhaps Ari, you're thinking about the book, right? Maybe that's why you've decided to walk back a bit to be like,
Yeah.
this would have been easier had to be a picture in the book, ... and then maybe you just think about that for a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, Crumbar takes the lead with her up front, and she gets out to like the mouth of the alleyway, and she kind of stops, and she says, kind of just to the group in general, she kind of like half turns back to you, and says, "And you said they were looking for something to eat."
Went out with
Yeah.
the intent to hunt, in fact.
Yes, but doesn't really look like this place had a lot of. Doesn't really look like this place has need of hunting grounds. So maybe they could have found food elsewhere somehow.
And she looks and goes, most places have requirements for hunting grounds, unfortunately. We are not beyond hunger in High Rock. And she smiles. And then she kind of stands and, like, turns to the city, like kind of her back to the group. And just like as if taking a moment to like survey the place, right? And there's like maybe 15 seconds that pass where she's just kind of looking off towards different parts of the city. And then she turns back and she blinks a couple of times. And she says, would they spend a lot of money on a meal, or would they look for something more? And she kind of like looks for a word that she is struggling to find. So she kind of does that thing where she's waiting for you to just jump into the sentence.
I'll just kind of
Oh,
laugh.
yeah.
I'll just kind of laugh and go, yes.
We look for something more acceptable, yeah.
Kitty does have expensive tastes.
Yeah, I'll say money is no object to us, my lady.
But actually, yeah.
And she kind of nods. And perhaps the others will eventually pay for you to have some gold armor like them. She smiles at you.
Look down like that's so complicated.
Right. Ripping off plating.
Yeah.
That's my skin. But yes, so she kind of like politely sits next. Like,
Plating on top of plating on top of plating.
yeah, just layer it up. Eventually, can't move. It's just a ball you roll at your enemies.
Yeah.
I mean,
Baseball.
Oh,
to
dear.
like,
You mean ball, right?
2d10 roll damage.
So
Yeah.
she says, I think I know just the place to find your friends. And she just like kind of marches off. Very like power walky in a direction.
This time I make sure to be shoulder to shoulder with her.
So yeah, she kind of marches off. And do you say anything on the way? Because it's obviously going to be a bit of navigating through a city.
I'll be like, thank you so much for your assistance in this. Much appreciated. We wouldn't have known where to start.
And she says, it is rather my pleasure to assist newcomers to the city. I would hate to think High Rock had a bad name for being unwelcoming to others. And she smiles again. She says,
Yeah. Oh.
there is a restaurant that most people find upon their first visit to High Rock, and I feel like if we start our journey there, we can at least ask the people if they have seen anyone matching the description of your colleagues.
That would work. Thank you.
I nod and say, thank you. Much appreciated.
I'll ask her. I'll say, you know them well, do you? As in the restaurant owners and stuff. Yeah, how connected.
I mean,
Okay.
if you're saying you know them well, that doesn't imply restaurant owners, though, does it? Because
Just gonna go ask civilians, and we could have done that ourselves.
you could have, yeah, but you chose not to. Yeah, this is how it
Okay.
works, Bastiel. This is the people you are playing with. This is it. I don't know why you're shocked now. You've been with us for how long?
Okay, fuck it.
And keep
Let's
in
go.
mind, you enabled it. You're like,
Yeah.
I will stand back and watch this play out. Go to the alleyway, my colleagues. And when it didn't explode, you're like, I will join them.
Mhm.
I'm on to you. Mr. Play it safe and then judge retroactively. So, after like, a nice montage length of footage as you navigate through High Rock, you probably do get a bunch of different stares, right? People probably do stare because you're a Warforged, an Orc, and a half-elf. And
Mhm.
2 of the 3 of you are covered in gold. So, yeah. And funnily enough, gold is noticeable in this place. So, yeah. She eventually, leads you up to a restaurant. And she says, if you ask inside for your friends, perhaps they will know. I do not see anyone sat matching the description. She gestures like the outdoors seating, etc.
Um,
Also, just FYI mechanically, we don't have a Sophie, So you know you'll never meet her, right? Until
Oh, I forgot about that.
we have a Sophie, right? So
That is a
I don't
good
know. I
point.
don't know what you're hoping for.
I was hoping for Don Drabella, actually.
Yeah, I was a bit confused. I was like, well, I know what I'm
Nope.
supposed to
Don
do.
Drabella's
For me,
with
Drabella,
Sophie.
she's like, yeah, sorry, Sophie fell into the loo.
Mhm.
She locked herself into the loo.
Nope.
Oh, she left all her weapons here, you know. She's gonna have to try to get out of her on her own, you know, strength.
Again, though,
Meantime, let's
she
have a
has
cat here.
burning hands. She'd just burn her way out.
Safer.
So
Oh, shit,
fundamentally,
yeah, I was thinking if she'd left everything, then yeah.
again though, so because Sophie isn't with us just now, and if she can make it for part 2, good. But until then, you won't interact with her, and she was with Don Drabella, so that's her buddy. So
Okay, let's establish that we're not going to find them. Then let's at least ask, and then obviously we tell they're not here, and then
I mean,
guess.
the answer was they were here, right? You ask at the restaurant, and they did eat here, and then they moved on
okay,
because we know they ate at a fancy restaurant.
right. Then, so like scale wise, how big are we talking of city? Can I see? Is it like New York? Is there like skyscrapers everywhere, or what?
Like, I mean, as much as a fantasy setting can have built up places, I mean, the New York description's kind of closer to Omen, right? But nobody really gets to go to Omen, right? There's just
Oh yeah,
perhaps pictures of Omen that people have painted because they were privileged enough to get there. So like a university in Horizon, like a magic school, might have a big mural of Omen in dedication to their glorious Wizard King, right?
mm.
But again, maybe it's an artist's impression at the best.
Yeah.
Whereas here in High Rock, it is like mostly huge estate houses and obviously quite a lot of expensive businesses, right? It is a fully functioning city, but there isn't like an open air market, for example.
Yeah.
There are docks and stuff as well. Like it's like a fully functioning harbour, because it is a massive city. And if the Wizard King didn't have Omen as his personal capital, and the financial capital wasn't Glitterhaven, because that's where all the people feel comfortable enough to trade, High Rock would have been a valid, place of wealth and power politically, right? But then so is Horizon, but with actual magic power in Horizon, not so much political.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Then we know they're not here. I'll say to her, well, it seems like they don't want to be found.
well, let's have the scene
Any idea
set.
how-
Let's set the scene a bit, right? So you three went in and asked. You gave the descriptions, right? And this woman has stood outside politely at a distance, awaiting your, excursion into the restaurant. So when you kind of like reconvene with the answers that they were here but they've moved on, you just have a moment to discuss stuff amongst yourselves if you want before returning to the lady.
Oh, all right.
Right? So why don't we have that little kind of huddle briefly? And you can plan what your next moves are.
Yeah. I'll tell the other guys. Like, clearly, they've run off without us. I guess we're just gonna have to wait for them to come to us. How should we? Also, we pass the time with this new friend here.
I mean, or they
Could
went
see-
hunting, right?
Yeah, could see if there's anything she needs a hand with to make up for, shocking her in an alleyway.
Yeah. Connections are important, and I'll smack the vault twice. With making a treaty with the world.
Mm-hmm.
So
Guys, are we hungry or thirsty or whatever? Because we could just like maybe invite her to lunch as a thank you for the trouble.
I mean, you're talking to Crumbar here, so I think you know the answer.
Yeah.
True.
Let's do it.
Okay, yeah, I'll turn towards her and say thank you so much for your assistance.
Did you
I have
locate your
faith that we
friends?
will. No, but I have the feeling that they'll just pop out when they want to be found. In the meantime, could we what's this? Could we thank you for your assistance by inviting you to have lunch with us?
And she kind of like
God knows
smiles.
that one. And I just look towards, I just point towards Scribbler. God knows that one is always hungry, and he would never say no to dinner, to lunch. Well, food.
I
So
think she
I'm not
smiles
petty
maybe
like
a bit more genuinely than she's maybe willing to have let on, right? Which is the I am not laughing at this, despite that being kind of funny. And she says, lunch would be a kindness undeserved. What have I done to warrant such a gift?
been very nice to us and showed us the places where they could be. We wouldn't have known where to start with this, but I understand if you have other arrangements. We can't. how do I- God, I
Wait,
understand if you- there's obviously plenty about this city to keep one occupied. I suppose if one would have the time.
yeah, we're looking to establish connections in this new land, and don't think it's gone unnoticed that you haven't rejected my lady of faith. This is a surprise to me. Feel welcomed.
God, would become those
I
people.
think she just smiles politely again, and she says, "Your beliefs do not impede my own. So why would I reject that you believe them?" And
What are your own beliefs?
she gives you like a kind of like a quizzical look at that, right? As if, as if actually expecting an answer.
She's expecting an answer from that.
Mm-hmm.
Beliefs. I thought those were foreign here.
I cannot say I know everyone's beliefs individually of High Rock. That would be a task a bit beyond my honestly my interests, but the idea that my beliefs would stop your own and yours would stop me, I do not think those would be valid beliefs. I feel like if you need to impose your will upon others, and indeed in spite of others, then I do not believe in you. And she gives you like a kind of like a resolute look to her, right? As if maybe you've hit her belief structure,
Oh my. So okay, I'm just gonna say it. So. Oh shit! I should be kind of quiet. I'll whisper to her. I'll just say in a low tone. Kind of Magna, are you?
She raises an eyebrow. Our beloved Wizard King? Said with almost no tone.
I chuckle. Yes, we should definitely be friends.
And here's me thinking we already were. You've invited me to lunch. She gestures back into like the restaurant.
There was more than
Yeah.
one reason I was giving you a glare there.
Walk towards where
Previously.
she's gestured. Let's do this.
And yeah, so like you head into the restaurant, and like as soon as she walks into like the grounds of the restaurant, 'cause remember the front of it's all kind of open air. As soon as she walks in, like people walk past you three and go to her, and
Well then.
they say, "Do you want your reserved table?" And she says, "Yes, please. Please prepare it for me and my guests." And they nod politely and they lead you all through the back of the restaurant. So like you go into the kind of indoors section where there's a lot of kind of like private booths. Booths that have like proper big, deep velvet curtains on them, right? That have solid wooden paneling walls between them, right? So to the point where you could probably be reassured that this is somewhere that you will have a lot of privacy, right? So you head inside, and you are shown to this one of these kind of like deep mahogany wooden, huge booth things. The equivalent of looking at a four-poster bed side on with really big fancy curtains on it. Like the idea of that, but it's like a dining table in the middle, not a bed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what you're led to, and she takes a seat at the table, and everybody you're all shown to a seat by these waiting staff.
Sorry. Thank you. I'll just kind of like take off my sword and kind of place it on the place it like leaning up against the table and sit down.
I was gonna say, please don't place it on the table. God, that's so rude.
No, you know what I mean though. So it's like leaning up against.
Yeah, you've balanced it up against the table. Yeah, you've not just dumped it on the table. A big mighty great sword. That should be hilarious.
No, that's where the food's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a wide clearance for his arms to swing.
There's a kitty!
Welcome, by the way. We'll catch up with you in a second. I want to play out this scene and we'll see, or maybe take our break early. So, carry on, folks.
I take all my stuff off and put it behind the chair, except the vault, which I put right to my side, briefcase.
Of course, yep. You can even put it in front of you if you want it under the table.
I actually want it within quick access. I might actually just whip it out.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, yeah.
All right. Arya, what are you doing?
Arya's just going to essentially be chilling.
Okay.
She's just observing. She's not really.
So you've went and taken your seat, etc., and sat there and not saying much.
Yeah.
This is when your food arrives and you put it on like a skewer and you just say Dracarys and just start toasting it over your hellfire bowl.
That might be a thing. But no, she's obviously ruminating a bit because she realizes that this is a place where this lady Cerule is not just known but a regular, having her own table and such. And I'm obviously assuming a place like High Rock would have a bunch of high-end restaurants and stuff, so this is interesting. And I'll try to kind of look around and maybe try to get an idea, but obviously it's going to be difficult because everything's going to be high-end sort of luxury sort of thing, but I'm kind of going to be looking around almost to try to figure out what this place tells me about her, if that makes sense. If this is the sort of place that she goes to, maybe if it's all seafood, maybe I'm just going to imagine maybe she's perhaps had a upbringing by the sea or something, or
yeah, you're going to try and glean what you can from everything. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
So that's why she's quiet, because she's trying to put 1 and 2 together and perhaps end up with 3.
Yeah, understandable. So yeah, you're sat there, you're given menus as well, and she isn't given a menu. She her and a server exchange a look, and she just nods.
Oh, she's ordering off menu.
Ordering our deaths.
Yes.
No, more
Clamps grab your wrists on the
order.
chairs. She's a Bond villain. Oh no, my plan revealed. But yes,
More
so
she comes here often enough that the server already knows.
exactly. Basically, look was your usual, and she just nods, you know, we Jimmy, you know what I'm ordering. So
I know.
So she looks at you all, kind of looking at the menus, and she says, "Your kindness is very appreciated. I hope you enjoy this restaurant as much as I do. If it looks like it should be fresh, it has most likely been caught fresh." And she kind of just smiles at that. Do you have something in mind for refreshments?
I'll just put like thump on the table and be like, "Yes, bring out the wine."
Oh goodness me.
Yes, do you have a preference of which type of wine, though? I think they have over 100 varieties.
Vampire wine. I'm joking.
And I'll just
That's
I'll-
called
I'll-
maybe wine, I'll have you know.
That is maybe what- yeah. Yeah, I'll just
I'll look at him and say, you probably shouldn't be choosing the wine.
Yeah. Woofed.
and I just go. Is there any kind of waiters nearby or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, there's somebody waiting to take the drinks order.
Cool. I just look at him and go, "Bring me wine fit for an orc."
I'm gonna piss in a cup.
I was going to say he's just going to go to the toilet and scoop.
Amazing.
Well, then he shall get smited.
Yeah.
I think the guy looks at you, Crumbar, and he looks over at, obviously, this woman, and she says, "Perhaps some honey wine." And he looks immediately relieved that there is an answer he clearly wasn't getting to. Now, keep in mind that in a place like this, the staff are probably, the third or fourth kid of a noble family that don't have any purpose, right?
Right.
Right? So they're useless, for lack of a better term. So they've been sent out to do something useful, like perhaps work in this person's, restaurant. So, for example, whoever owns this restaurant, that'll probably have, let's say a shipping business, which means if their kid works in their restaurant for so long, maybe they'll get a ship to command or some bullshit, right? Some horribly, nepotistic interbred, juggling of personnel between noble houses.
Yeah.
Just
So
give
it's
you.
like boot camp.
Yeah, right.
So
But the humbling experience is learn your place in the pecking order, right? When it comes to the nobles, because not everybody can be at the top of the noble houses, right?
I mean, where would be the fun in that, right?
Plus, all of these people that clearly haven't.
In other words,
So-
don't be an asshole because they
So,
might be noble.
all of these people that have earned, air quote, their family's money, that definitely haven't actually earned a single penny, they're entitled gits. And they have invented ways for other people to feel like they have earned the money they're about to inherit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas somewhere down the line, the lineage of all these noble families, they probably did a lot of hard work to get the money, right? Or screwed a lot of people over. But they've done what they did to get their money, and that's now in a vault, Or business ventures growing more money, etc.
I like money.
So does High Rock, buddy. But yes, any risky business stuff will be done in Glitterhagen, though, right? Because that's the trade capital. So yeah. So yeah, these are there. Honey wine has been ordered for Crumbar. That guy has been relieved ever so slightly of his choices. What about Bastille and Arya?
Push my plate forward and rest my kind of hands in my lap. I'll kind of turn my head to show her Ulrich Brewblade's Maker's Mark on my side.
Right.
I'll say, Our Lady sustains me.
I see. And what are you asked for in return?
In return?
Yeah, and she's like sat there, and she's got like her hat, like her chin resting between, like if you look at the stream, she's like that. You maybe have to wait a couple of seconds for it to catch up. But yeah.
Yeah.
Like just looking across the table, because I'd like to believe that if it's like a rectangular table, she's at one alongside you're at the other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
In return, so she's wondering what I am doing for her giving me.
Yeah, like that's literally what she asked. Yeah, like what does she ask for in return for being sustained? Is what she's saying, right? Because you're saying my lady sustains me, but obviously people have I can't remember.
Pact.
It's not pacts because that's too warlocky, but there's a
A
term.
debt?
No, it's not debt. Give me 2 seconds. I'll get you the word. It's like tenant.
Arrangement?
It's like tenants, right? Tenants. Tenets. Just so you're knowing. what I'm
Oh,
actually saying.
right. Right, paladin type thing.
2 seconds. I'll get you the exact word I'm looking for because it's from Dungeon World. Is what I'm thinking. Is where I know the term immediately from. So let me have a quick look at that. You have precepts of your religion, right? So
Mhm.
the precept being that, for example, if your religion preaches the sanctity of suffering, the petition to them would be suffering. So it's petition. Like, what do you need to do to petition your God for such a gift, right?
Yeah.
There we go. There was the terminology I was looking for. God bless you, Dungeon World. Yes.
Well, we fulfill her will where she cannot. And
So you are
wanna-
beholden to her.
let's say she's given me a second chance at a life I otherwise wouldn't be living at all. Period. And it is her will that others may do the same. I'm trying to leverage this into talking about what we're doing.
Yeah, no, I'm like, yeah, I see the angle, yeah.
Yeah.
So she smiles and she says, "This is indeed something to drink to then. What can I offer you?" And she's motioning to like the guy that's waiting to write down what you want to drink. Just because you don't have to drink doesn't mean you can't. Pour it into the source and it just fizzes away.
Yeah, you're just gonna say it leaks through me and go. There's a puddle on the floor.
Hey man,
I don't know.
I'm not here to discuss Warforged physiology, right? I've just had to invent an entire fucking like noble house hierarchy, like apprenticeship
Yeah.
structure for entitled gits, as Claire would put it. So yeah, I'm not here to ad lib everything, right? I'm just here to say that it doesn't say you can't eat in your character sheet. It just says you don't have to.
Okay. I won't get anything. Yeah, I'll say your words will suffice.
And she smiles. She says, "I'm afraid you won't find them so sustaining though." And she kind of smiles at that. She turns to Arya, as if happy with the exchange with you, and she looks to Arya. "And for yourself?" And then we'll wait for Arya to play the mute game.
You're wasted. Ready.
No, I'm just thinking. I'll be like, whatever you recommend.
And she smiles and she says, "This is in fact a meal offered by you, so I would be obliged if you would choose."
Yes, but you know this place. I'm happy to cover the costs, but I don't really know what's good here.
And she kind of
So,
nods.
kind of looking around, I'm kind of suspecting everything is.
Yeah, and I think she says, she turns to the the attendant, as it were, the waiter guy, some random noble boy, and she says to him, "Bring us a bottle of honeyed mead and 2 bottles of salted wine." And she kind of nods to him, as if your job here is done, leave. And he kind of like, I don't know, he goes to almost curtsy in embarrassment and leaves, right? Somewhere between like, he's obviously the new guy. And then he like boosts away. And after like, minutes, if that, they come back and the table is set for you guys to obviously have a meal, and it is adorned with like the goblets and whatnot for drinking. You've got the 2 bottles of salted wine that appear and the bottle of like, honeyed wine. And it's all kind of set out. You're given like cups and stuff as well, Bastiel, even if you're not drinking, it's just like everybody gets like a setting, as it were.
Yeah.
And then she says, "Have you decided what you wish to eat?"
I just kind of look for like the most meatiest thing on the menu and order that.
Okay, I have no idea what that is, but it's possibly involving the word ribs, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's possibly some kind of load-bearing animal.
You know, it's probably just like a big tomahawk steak, but like
Yeah,
bigger.
mammoth.
Yeah, but like from like an absolute beast of a thing.
Yeah, well, based on D&D rules, it would literally be a beast. Yeah. So yes, you would. Yeah, you can order like essentially like let's just call it like a big chunky rhino thing, right? You know, a big crazy rhino.
Oh God.
I don't know what those are called in this world, but we're just going to assume you all know what they're called, right? And we'll just leave it at that. Especially since, Grummer, you've possibly eaten them before, given how relatively close to like your previous tribe's location these are. So they probably maybe like are local-ish to this area, and yeah. Also, I have no idea what salted wine is, by the way. Arya, I saw your comment in chat there. I just made that up because they're near the sea. So I like the idea of them having like, you know, sea salt treated wine, which was kind of cool.
That's so like on the fly.
I
Yeah.
need to think of a way to make that.
It's mostly because of the Harris gin that's done with like the sea like the sea kelp and whatnot, seaweed, etc.
Oh yeah.
Which is gorgeous. So I just thought, why not wine, right? So there we
Yeah.
are. Also, it's weird in fantasy worldy, right? So done. So she has that. Yeah, like so you ordered a rhinox, for lack of a better word. Ribs of the rhinox, you know, and Arya.
Arya's gonna have something more I don't know.
I mean,
I was
literally,
initially
you've
gonna
got the
say
scope to make.
foresty because she's used to the stuff in the forest, but we're heading into the forest, so we're gonna be hunting stuff there to begin with. So I think if she says that, if it's something fresh, it was probably caught today, sort of thing, Arya's gonna go for some sort of like calamari octopus sort of dish.
Okay, yeah,
Why
nice.
not?
I think if you ordered that, right, so you say that from the menu, you look down, there obviously, let's just call it octopus, why not? I think it would be giant octopus you'd order, right? And
Possibly, yeah.
as soon as you do that, like Cyril leans in, and she says, "I'm rather partial to the eel myself," and she just smiles. You have made a fine choice.
Oh.
And yeah, so the server
And
goes away.
I'm a bit like,
The server goes away, and then like there's a moment of chat. Does anybody want to say anything in the kind of brief moment before you get all your food, and then we take a break?
You just see me reach forward and pick up. Did they? Yeah, they did bring the bottles out, didn't they?
Yes, so all the drinks have been supplied first, as per literally all customs for sitting at a restaurant.
You just see me pick up one of the bottles of wine and just like pour it into a glass, lift up the glass, sniff it, and then just like
It smells 100% like sweet mead.
yeah, and then just down it in one and just go like
Imagine it was like treacle and it was so slow and you couldn't down it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's quite thick, right, to the point where like if you're not breathing properly, it would probably like stick in your throat like sugary syrup would, right? But it is very, very nice. You also now notice that there's a second jug sitting next to it, and as you like inhale this mead, it sticks in your throat, and you like maybe start to like clear your throat, and she says, "You typically would treat it with hot water first." And she
And I'll
motions
just-
to the jug.
And I
So this is like wine syrup that they brought us effectively.
Yeah, so you would have your cup, right, and then you would pour this wine into the glass, and then you would pour some hot water in, and that would like break it up enough that you would then do the diluting juice test of how thick do I want my mead.
and I'll just be like, nah, I'm good like this.
Cool, let's find out. Do you want to roll a con save?
Whoa.
I mean, you're good at these, right?
Ooh,
He is good at these. Now that I've said that, though.
Well,
don't know
well.
why
Yeah,
I
see,
thought-
look, it's fine. No, 17's good, yeah. You got this. You can drink it straight if you want. It's probably not as enjoyable. Maybe Crumbar likes it. Thicker. Crumbar's a thick boy, right?
Also, the alcohol will be more concentrated as well.
I mean, obviously, right?
It
Why would you
will be
dilute
so.
your booze? So yes, now that we promote the consumption of alcohol in crazy methods, just drink responsibly, kids.
Only,
And-
only.
Right, so anything you actually want to
Don't do
talk
this at home,
about?
kids.
Do none of this at home, kids. Oh God. Also,
Um,
welcome, Jesse Breakdown. Thank you for the belated raid hype. But yes, so anything conversationally you want to have?
Probably small chit chat until she's done eating. Because
But like, what is the small chat? Because you've not got your meal yet.
I want to ask her what it is that she does.
Okay, well, don't tell me that.
Oh, right, okay.
It's okay. It happens.
So I'd be like, between that kind of, I have this kind of idea that I'm kind of talking like Baloo as he's eating honey straight out the net.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's like,
I have this image too, and I love it. I'm not gonna lie.
and it's just that kind of way. It's like, so, I nearly called her Celeste there. Fuck.
To be fair, I
Um,
nearly called her Dakana earlier. Like, it's fine.
So-
But none of us have called her Zedreka, so we're doing good.
So, not the Cano.
Not Zedreka, yes.
Yet.
It's like,
You've got time.
what is it that you do for a living?
A living. And she looks at you. Must someone do something to live? Beyond survival?
Means what do you do to keep yourself occupied?
And then she kind of like turns to you and she kind of like smiles and nods and she says, I am advisor to the governor of High Rock.
Governor. Okay. Is it just
I understand why you have a particular interest in ensuring that newcomers would feel welcome to the city. Thank you.
Thank you as well for your intrigue and kindness. And she motions to like the table with all the drinks on it.
I'll just say it's like, guess that explains why you have a permanent seating here.
She kind of smiles and she says, most of the lords and ladies of High Rock have a preferred restaurant, and owners are more than eager to offer up a booth. I believe if yous were considering a permanent residence within High Rock, yous would no doubt seek your own booth also. She just
I
smiles.
just kind of laugh and go, I don't think High Rock is the place for me.
She kind of like shakes her head and she goes, and why is that? Kind of sits back in her chair with her glass of like salted wine.
I'm more used to rougher locations. I think I would get bored here.
I see.
can I add on to that?
Of course.
Yes, we've brushed shoulders with a great many titans recently. And I kind of look at her. Hopefully she gets the other kind of contenders in the arena of like basically like the icons stuff.
I mean, she looks at you and she says, Titans? I thought these were merely myths.
Kitty did try and steal one of their toes.
Yeah,
Those are
right.
giants, yeah.
Shit. Now this is the point where
Yeah, right.
Do
You
I
just
drop
you
it?
just plot hole. Whoops. Down we go.
Do I drop the thing on? What do you guys think as players? Can I
I
just
say drop it.
So you don't want to
Yeah.
like? You don't want to like maybe pull the curtains or anything? No, it's actual
Yeah,
privacy.
we don't really know.
Wait, I mean, I thought that's what the
Sure.
staff were there to do, honestly.
I mean, yeah, but you could indicate you wish privacy. Currently, it's open because this isn't some shady conversation that some political person has to have in the back of a restaurant currently.
Hmm.
Okay, then if she in response to Titans, I'll laugh and I'll look around and I'll say areas only, my lady.
And she kind of like looks across the table towards Arya.
Arya did not hear what you were doing because my
Sorry,
headphones were dying and
I,
I had
I
to
did.
plug them in.
I said our ears only.
Oh, I thought you said Arya's only. That's
Yeah,
where
sorry.
Yeah,
I
that's
went.
what I thought you said.
Yeah.
British blur.
Okay.
No, my bad.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to wrap tongues around. Let's face it. So our ears only. Okay, yeah, I think if you say that, then she kind of nods and she says, "Once the meal arrives, perhaps we should continue this conversation then." And she smiles, and as she says that, obviously the meal arrives, as if it's a TV show, well timed, and like her like plate of this big kind of coiled eel sits in front of her. You get the. It's not quite all of a giant octopus for obvious reasons, Arya. It is select pieces.
A little part of an
Aha.
arm.
So you've got like part of an arm, and then maybe like other details of a giant octopus. I don't want to go into detail for various gross reasons. And yeah, perhaps there's like an ink, like a almost like a sauce pot next to it, like a fancy ornate sauce pot that's just full of the ink from said octopus as well, because that's cool.
Yeah.
And like proper
And
stuck up.
tasty, I'll have you say.
I mean, I don't know if I would say it's tasty, but it is giant octopus ink, by the way. Hint, hint.
Like Daniel's sauce.
Or something she could maybe just pocket for later if she wants giant octopus ink for any reason, right?
Oh.
I don't know.
Genius.
I'm just making this shit up as I go. So anyway, giant octopus is being presented to Arya, just not in its entirety because fuck that table size. And then I think Bastel, the adornments for you in front of you are taken away, so you don't have like a plate or anything. It's more of a respect thing of let's not just lord over the lack of food on your plate thing. So that those details are then taken away because you haven't ordered, and that's now apparent. Once you've done that, the lady kind of motions to the staff that are obviously doing that. Is everything fine with your meal? Without asking, they just stand and wait to be berated. And she says, "Privacy, please." And they pull on one of those fancy silver tassely toggly things, and the big deep velvet curtains all pull shut. And with that clever segue, we go into a break. So we will take 10 minutes to have a break. I don't know when that means we'll be back. What time is it now? I say 17 minutes past, but let's say it's 20 past now, and we'll come back at 9:30. Right, so we'll come back at 9:30 for folks. I don't know what that means for everybody else, but that is essentially about just shy of 15 minutes for everybody online. Ideally, guys, you'll be back before then. We will be right back, folks. Let me just throw up some BRB screen, and then
BRB.
And we should be back and we should be live. Welcome back, everybody. Hello. I'll just be very, very obvious in chat here. Right, so this is the Keepers of the Golden Gate, session 56, part 2. I am Ryan the GM, or Victor the GM. I really should probably just go with the streamer name for this now, I guess, but it's weird saying it, given that I've been Ryan for all the YouTube videos. And it is the 17th of July 2020. Here are the players, and we have a Sophie this time.
This is Adrian. I play Arya Bluebird, the half-elf druid.
What up? I'm Sean. I play Bastiel, the Warforged cleric.
Hey, I'm Scott. I play Crumbar, a half-orc paladin.
Sophie, I play Kitlith Anastasia, a Wood Elf rogue.
Excellent. Right, so we obviously discussed what happened out with the in the chat on the break, but Kitlith and Dondrabella use a
We went for a lovely little stroll in the gardens.
yeah. So
and
we
she was crying up a bit.
yeah. So we cut to you guys. You have walked around the gardens for a bit, but I think what we do is we'll tell that story retroactively, right? So we'll have you guys be led by the staff of this restaurant back in, and when the curtains and whatnot are closed and you have all been kind of like issued out your meal, one of the staff comes in and makes their apologies for interrupting the lady, and they say, the other guests have arrived. And she looks a bit confused, and she turns to you and goes, perhaps your friends have found us. And that's what Cyril says to obviously you guys. And in are escorted Kitlith and Dondrabella, conveniently.
Hi guys.
And obviously there's these are given seats, and she says, the lady says, would you like something to drink? And then we pause there because it's a dramatic point to pause, and then we decide as players, what do you guys want to tell Sophie, who missed part 1, what she missed?
So, like out of character.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the previously on the moments before the arrival.
We found a shady woman.
Wow.
She was pretty cool, and we basically chit-chatted and dug it out of her that she actually doesn't totally care for Magna. Weird, in High Rock. So now we're trying to see if we can kind of be her friend and get along through that. And we've invited her to dinner, for lunch, and that's what we're doing now.
I mean, do any dragons care for the king?
Oh yeah, it turned out to not be Jokana.
Yeah, it's not
Dakana.
Dakana.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not Dakana. We just confused her because she had like similar like hair.
She's just wearing a blue dress and we all just went, blue dress, it's her!
More like silver hair and really blue eyes. But yeah, we initially found her surrounded. Well, she was with some people that looked a bit weird for this insanely rich place where everybody's rich, because they didn't really look rich at all.
They're trying to rob her.
No, they seemed to talk to her, then kind of like as we approached, they kind of like, ooh, that person's coming, and they kind of like disappeared. And we asked if she was in trouble, and she said she wasn't. She actually seemed a bit more intimidated by us than by the half dozen people around her that didn't really look like they were elbows. But as it turns out, she's the advisor to the governor of High Rock. So I'm guessing they were her eyes and ears, and possibly even more in the city. And also she kind of we met. We talked in a dark alley for a while, and she looked a little bit intimidated. And then she's like, "Can I guide you anywhere?" Because we offered to take her home. Well, I offered because I was like, "Oh, Beachy was feeling threatened by them," but then she offered to take us somewhere because we're new and don't know the city, and she wants us to have a good opinion of it. But yeah. I don't know what to think of her,
And
basically.
between me and Chan, right? Between me and Chan, we pretty much summarised the whole thing to two heavies muscled in on some woman in an alleyway, and then the third heavy turned up and said, "What god do you like?" and then went,
Basically.
"Let's take you to your home, rich lady." And she went, "How about I lead you somewhere else politely?" So yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the other version of the story. Oh, I love it! I love it so much. It's so good.
Yeah.
Hmm Roleplay, everyone. Not even once.
Mhm.
At least twice.
Maybe
So-
3 times.
Maybe 3 times. Yeah, a lady. So, yeah, yous are attended to, and this lady, Cyril, looks at you and she says, "Are you enjoying the comforts of the city?"
Yeah, they're alright.
She nods and she looks over to Bella, and Bella is like, just nodding slowly, like, "Yeah, I like the gardens." She kind of nods and kind of just looks at everybody around the table, trying to gauge what's happening. You know, is there somebody playing catch up?
Yeah.
Crumbar is just battering into his food and possibly absolute tannin alcohol as
So
well.
you've already started eating, and you've got new people arrived at the table. Wow. Wow. Your Rhinox ribs could wait 2 minutes for them to get food now.
Nope, Crumbar is not had food like this in a while, and he has not had alcohol in a while. So
Mhm.
yeah, he is.
Oh, wait for no elf.
Yeah, so the lady looks at you and says, "Is there something I can order you both, or are you sated from your meal earlier?
I'm okay from earlier.
Is there something I could get you in way of refreshment? A drink, perhaps?"
Maybe what Crumbar had. That looks, or smells amazing.
So she kind of nods, and the server person who's like politely waiting to be dismissed, who looks uncomfortable as hell, with like a bead of sweat on his forehead because he did interrupt her, right, despite them requesting privacy, and says, "2 more bottles of honeyed wine and 1 more of the salted wine, please." And then
And I just get like, as he's saying that, Crumbar kind of puts up his hand and goes, "Yep, another one here. Here."
he like leaves, and then the curtains are closed again, and you know, after a narrative amount of time to justify everybody being handed drinks, like I think she maybe just you know, suggests like perhaps you should take the cup that's next to you and you know, help yourself to the bottle in front of Crumbar, right? Is what she gestures with a hand. It's all written in her hand, so you can really read it really easily, right? You know.
I mean, I think at this point Crumbar would just be drinking it out the bottle. So,
So uncouth. Yes.
so it's really up to you if you want to do
So-
that or not.
He's
So-
drinking honeyed wine that comes with a kind of jug of hot water where you're meant to dilute the honeyed wine so that it's like drinkable but still sweet.
I feel like I would have probably come across this at another part of like some of the.
Oh, 100% somebody else at that table outside, like somebody else like nearby would definitely have maybe had this,
Yeah.
right?
Like
Yeah.
maybe I haven't noticed it as I was walking in and saw them like pouring the hot water in, so I'm like, oh, I know what to do here.
Mhm,
And
mhm, yeah.
make it out like I've known all along, but actually I just like 5 seconds ago I just
Uh-huh.
saw someone.
Yeah, it's like I am civilized and cultured as of this morning
Pretty much.
as I sip my tea. Yeah. And I think yeah, I guess like just we should perhaps catch up to Mr. Dinnebick then, and she starts tucking into the meal. She like motions to you, Bastiel, as if
What do they need?
you wanted
Sorry,
privacy.
what do I need to get caught up with?
You don't. She wasn't talking to you. She was talking about you.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because you've
What?
already started eating.
Yeah.
And nobody else has because they're polite. So she's saying perhaps we need to catch up to Mr. Dinnebick.
Right. Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you meant like you need to
Scott,
catch me.
are
up
you
and I'm-
are you with us tonight, Scott? We're all here, buddy. You know, take a seat at
I
the
do-
table.
I don't understand words.
It's okay. Sometimes neither do I. And those are the worst and scariest days. But yes, so she motions to you, Bastiel, as if you wanted privacy.
Yeah. I lean back into my chair with my kind of hands in my lap, and I
There's a
say,
satisfying creak, right? You know, the creak of rich wood.
"Yeah, nice."
Mm.
Maybe I'll add that to my body. And I'll say, "Right, how about a story then?" Obviously, looking down and having nothing in front of me, I clearly have nothing to do here while they eat. And I'll say, "Titans, yes. Dragons, gods, kings. We've seen it all. Seen it all recently, in fact."
And she's sat there kind of delicately cutting up the eel that's in front of her.
Hmm.
She's happy to let you continue. Like, she's like, you know, you can tell this is her favorite dish because she's not said anything, right? So she's
Oh,
tucking in.
eel. I thought you said eagle.
No,
Okay.
no. Eel, as in from the sea.
Uh-huh.
I thought you said eagle as well.
Wow. No, eel.
To be honest,
Okay.
it sounded like eagle to me, but I
Maybe
figured
then,
out from
maybe.
context that you meant eel.
Yeah, because you ordered. It's because
So
you also ordered
context?
something like, you know, of a fish food nature. She also did the same,
Okay.
and she was pleased about that kind of, you know, similarity in the fact that, oh, you like seafood as well. I love seafood because I've ordered eel. But maybe my audio jumped when I said it, right?
I'm gonna go and see if you can buy eagle now.
Let's not.
hell
Why,
no.
why don't we stay in the game, Scott? Because you're
Well,
struggling
I was-
as is, you know.
I was winning in the game.
I mean,
Right.
there are eagles, so yeah, giant eagle is also a thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like a griffin size, like spit
No,
roast.
no, straight up just giant eagle, right?
No, let's not.
Let's leave the
Oh.
eagles alone.
Yeah, so if I'm continuing off that, say, yeah. So, dragons, gods, and recently demons too. Are you aware of the hellhole phenomenon sweeping our land?
She finishes what she's eating, right? Like in the sense that she finishes the mouthful of eel, not eagle.
Yeah.
And she sits like her cutlery down, kind of politely to one side. She picks up her glass of salted wine, clears her throat with it, and then she says, "Merely the rumours that have spread from the south."
Rumors. And I'm actually going to open the vault. I'm going to unlock it, sit there, faff around with my keys in response to that. And I'll place the Dwarven King's crown in front of me.
Oh God.
They are no rumors.
I look towards you and say, I'm not exactly how much would have transpired up to here. May I ask, what are the rumors that that you've heard?
And she kind of looks at you, Bastiel, and she goes, "I was not discrediting your story, Bastiel. I was merely informing you what I am aware of."
Mm-hmm.
And she looks to Arya and kind of like smiles, and she says, "When the paladins of the Order Hall had left, their absence was noted. Such enforcement is noticeable within High Rock. However, the duty of these paladins is well known, to protect us from all that goes bump in the night." And she says that with a bit of playfulness, right? And then she says, "Having the information that my governor has gathered led us to believe that there was something in the south requiring the attention of the paladins, and the paladins fight these demons and unknowable threats, keeping us safe. So yes, without travelling south and looking for myself, they are but rumours to me."
Mm.
And I think she maybe just adds the word respectfully when she looks back at you, Bastiel, right? Because it's weird that you've almost taken offence at her statement, given that you're not part of the Order, right? even though she wasn't
Yeah.
meaning offense at it. So for her, the dynamic's super interesting.
Okay, I see. Can I read? Do you want me to make an insight check to kind of read that?
What's your passive insight? Because you might not even have to check.
It's probably quite a +6, whatever that means. Passive.
So work out what bonuses are applied to your passive wisdom, and then do the same, like your passive like perception, and then do the same for insight.
So that would be, and you're adding this to 10, are you?
I don't know what's added to your passive perception. That'll tell you on your
Passive
sheet.
perception is 16.
Right. So what is your proficiency bonus and your mod? 3 and 3.
3 and
There you go then. Right.
16.
Yeah, I think you could probably read that quite easily. Yeah. 16 is pretty damn
Okay
good.
then.
Mhm.
Then
And that
I'm
is your
gonna
insight
take-
we're looking at. Yeah, your passive insight is 16, not your perception.
I'm looking at passive wisdom.
Right. So passive wisdom isn't a thing. Passive perception is a thing, and it's based on wisdom.
Okay, and insight's a wisdom skill too, right? So is it not the same?
If all the maths works out, if you're, but you might have a higher skill in one than the other, right? So if it doesn't take into account
Oh.
that,
No, it's the same. It's exactly
Okay.
the same.
okay, cool. Then there you go.
Cool.
Because one might have its proficiency ticked and one might not.
Yeah. I see.
Cool. If that's the
Um,
case, then yeah. If it's the same, a 16 is plenty.
If I can kind of glean that she's puzzled about that kind of.
I think it's more the case of
collaboration.
she doesn't understand why you have taken offence at something that may have been taken as a slight against the Order's duties, not
Yeah.
necessarily. Even though she didn't intend an insult to the Order's duties, she's aware that you have also stated that you weren't part of the Order, yet you're the one that weirdly took offence at it.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna.
all of that's very visual.
Subtitle. No,
She wrote it on her other hand.
can I? And hopefully, I don't actually have to do this. But can I?
Flip the table? Hell yeah!
I want to.
Fuck your octopus.
You're a fake eagle. You call
Anything but
You call that eagle? This is
like
eagle!
this is an eagle.
Slaps the dwarf king crown on the table.
Yeah.
So let's just like, I mean, 56 sessions. We did good, right, guys? But we're done, right? This was a good run.
Actually throwing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to the scene, right? So, what are you doing with your insight?
I want to convey to her that this is a problem that affects everyone beyond the Golden Order, and the Golden Order are kind of on the ropes. In fact, in all seriousness, this is going to take a collaboration, the likes of which the world has never seen.
So-
And
How much of this is in character, buddy?
all of it.
Perfect. There we go. So the phrase "I want to convey to her" is in character. Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Yeah. Aye. So yeah,
Oh, no.
let's maybe checkpoint our in character out of character nonsense then, shall we? So I know when you don't, because you and Bastiel sound very similar. It's very difficult to tell the
Yeah, I
difference.
wonder why.
It's weird that, right?
Freaky.
So
Uncanny.
if that is all in character, right, and you convey the fact that this is not a Golden Order problem, it's a world problem. Primarily.
Yeah.
I think she maybe does stop mid, attempting to eat and cut up some more eel, not eagle, and she looks up and says, "And what are the rest of the world to do in regards to this problem? Would you have some solution in mind that we could do? Perhaps your Lady of Destiny could step in."
That is what we are. Her intervention.
Then-
Can I just give her this?
I think she
as
like
in-
when you say that, right? I think she just like sits up a little bit like a jolt, and she goes, "Excellent. Then I rest easy then." And she smiles and finishes cutting up the part of the eel, not eagle.
Yeah. As much as I'd like to believe that her powers are constrained by means that are apparent, aren't apparent even to me. And unfortunately, we still need all the help that we can get. And then I'll give her the speech, the typical one I've given like 10 people now about what we're actually doing, the nature of our quest to forge a pact with all the different factions. And,
Please join our club. Yes.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Literally everything, but for all we know, she could actually be like in
Zadraka,
leagues with
for all we know.
Magna.
Yeah, but
No,
how does that
she was
play
a
out?
Draco,
We get a
though.
cool fight. That's like, there's no downside.
Yeah, that's XP, Arya.
I'm quite sure we can't beat Magna.
Fuck it. I mean, you're welcome to stop me as, like, you know, I'm just gonna, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying
kinda
to
chaotic
figure
about
out
it.
how and what I would do.
Yeah.
This.
Keep in mind, if you're thinking about something,
Because-
you can say this as a player. By the way, guys, let's not tell her anymore.
Yeah.
Let me think of the next thing to
Sorry.
say unless someone else has something to say. ... But
Yes.
Bastiel is currently filling silence, which is good. Whether or not the fact that he's
No,
decided
we
to
are
confide in
eating
this
and he
woman,
is the one that doesn't eat.
and besides confiding in this woman everything literally about you guys, whether or not that's a sensible idea or not, it's a totally different, kettle of fish.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
kind of thinking like a
I like the all or nothing approach, right? I like the all or nothing approach. It's like, well, you've been kind of okay to us so far, and we've been kind of shady to you so far, so cards on the table.
I like the all or nothing approach.
He says with
Heinz
Rhinox in
here
his mouth.
Skyrim. I just don't care. I'm like a holy man. I'm blunt about it. But yeah.
So, give me the checklist of stuff you're telling her, right? What details are you making sure she's aware of? For example, are you going to tell her the part where, like, the Winter King decided that, oh, by the way, these red dragons are here now, that's clearly Magna's fault.
No, I won't tell her who the Winter King is or that. I'll say that.
Also, can I
I
highlight
would-
the part where, see if I was, sat at this table as the random noble son who's very nervous about why he's involved in the conversation because he shouldn't be. I'd be like, so the dragons attacked the citadel and the king of the dragons told you it was the person they don't like.
Yeah.
Okay, and you all believed her?
I'll leave that bit out for now.
Yes.
I'll leave that to the others if they want to share that.
Mhm.
But I am telling her what our mission is and all the factions that we intend to attempt to make an
So
alliance with.
the mission being the Black Fang Spear.
To
God.
Can you see why it's best to
I'll
actually say it all verbally so I know exactly
Yeah,
what it
Yeah,
said?
not the
Not
Black
to
Fang
mention,
Spear
it
either.
would be like a long story to tell her everything.
Yeah, so not that.
We could probably
Just give her
say
the
that
YouTube
we're-
link.
We're actually stopping. Yeah, we're actually on the way to speak to.
Elf Queen.
Like, if we are to tell her details of something, I'd say we are to speak to the Elf Queen about a possible way to deal with the issue down south. So I'm afraid to say that sadly it is not a rumor. There are issues that will need a team effort to be resolved, and we're making sure that as many factions contribute to those efforts as possible.
She nods at that and says, it is quite a noble, adventure that you're on. The danger involved is almost equal to that of which you're trying to defend against, I would imagine. And she mouthful of eel from the fork. That's eel, by the way. I don't no idea what eel tastes like, but I don't imagine it's particularly nice.
Oh, I've had it. It's horrendous.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Shut up.
No, it's garbage. It's like eating an omega-3 tablet. You know, you're never supposed to bite into those. Yeah, it's like you did that.
That's horrible.
What's the eel that you've had cooked?
No, it was sashimi.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, hers isn't cooked. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's like, no, this
It's
isn't.
supposed to be like that.
Like,
at
this is
all.
an eel he just found at the beach and just bit into one day.
She has weird tastes, okay, leave her alone. Her job's stressful.
It's like a fish that doesn't quite like it's like a blandish fish. That's basically
Hence the salted wine to accompany it.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it was a blandish fish, and all I could taste.
Can I
was
just say, by the way,
poison.
see if this starts, by the way, raw eel with salted wine, by the way, you all owe me fucking money, right? If this becomes a new trend.
Copyright.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
A new delicacy.
Uh.
To be fair, this game, if we actually went back through all the previous sessions, we have probably talked about food so fucking much in this game. So,
Yeah, menu.
food adventures. Anyway, so back to the scene. So you conveyed the danger. She advises that, wow, it's really fucking dangerous what you're doing, in fact. And, you know, she's got respect for the fact that you're obviously on this
Oh,
crazy
bless
quest.
her.
Adventures. And what help do you wish to gain from the Queen of the Elves?
Well, to that, we intend to find that out when we get there. But I will say, we intended to pass through High Rock, knowing that Magna would never support our charge. But it would seem that the possibility for allies here remains intact.
She kind of like
Would you-
looks
I
up.
try to move the subject from here because like I said, I don't trust her.
Well, she like her
Um,
eyes immediately dart. Her eyes dart up from her meal, like as if you know you got her attention, right? Well, she's
Yeah.
obviously like tucking into more eel, and I'm starting to hear it myself, guys. Honestly, I'm just
Sorry.
just eel. The word's lost all meaning now. Flying eels now. So yeah, like she looks like her eyes look up and just like look to you, because you've basically implied you obviously aren't so cool with Magna either. Which is quite a big thing to say to, like, you know, a fairly high up political position
Yes.
person in High Rock, the city that
That
has
we
known.
don't know.
Hell yes.
So that's a big thing, right? So she gives you a look that is a bit difficult to read for a 16 passive, and she then she continues eating, swallows it down, washes it down with her salted wine, and then she looks at you and she says, "And what help could High Rock offer that our Wizard King could not? Surely his interests extend to the safety of the world?" And she's obviously been a bit like, what could MD do that isn't the Wizard King, right? Because that guy conquered the world.
That guy is also a giant.
Whether or
Okay.
not you like Magna, right, is a secondary column next to how powerful he is and his
Yeah.
interests in being king of the world. You're king of nothing if your world goes away, right?
So what you're saying is really our best option is to destroy the world.
Wait a
Can't
minute.
Rule it if no world.
Hell,
No.
that's the way to defeat the king.
With semantics.
Hell yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's one of my games. Semantics is definitely overpowered.
Yeah.
So anyway, besides that, yeah, like, so she says that to you, conveying, like, but Magnus, the king of the world, blah blah blah, you know. She does refer to him as the Wizard King, though.
Oh, okay.
Yes, as we all should,
Yes.
whether we like him or not.
Mhm.
It's not your childhood pal for you to call him Magna.
Yeah, first names are a
I-
big thing, right? So,
Yeah. -2 charisma. Also.
I mean, also, yeah, like, I mean, you're dwarven built, right? So, whether you've your knowledge of Magna is book read, right? You're book smart about Magna. That's your knowledge of him, despite what you've learned from the party. So, yeah,
Yeah.
because Magna wasn't around 100 years ago, right? He wasn't Wizard King of the World 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell her that we have it.
Under control.
Oh,
No,
yes.
like we have it on good authority, shall we say, that Magna's recent actions go in direct contradiction of our efforts to unite the realms unite the factions against the portal.
Why does it sound
Um,
like you're taking
the bucket.
damage every time you say words?
Because Ryan, I am taking damage, and you're gonna screw me on my wording. That's why.
No, let's take a step back, right? In a role-play game, right, is wording important?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
There's pain. You say this right.
Oh dear, I love it. I actually love it. It's so good.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it's like writing legal copy.
so you basically say to her, the gist of it being, Magnus seems to be up to things that don't imply he cares that much about the safety of the world.
Yes, and we have basically that we have allies that we need to work with that have told us this.
Okay. And she goes, and what allies are these, if I can ask? And she kind of looks at everybody very briefly as if, well, obviously we're all in on the story now, right? So she kind of leans into that.
God.
Because you've just told her king isn't so fussed about keeping people safe. That is a massive bomb to drop, right? But
I mean,
does she need...
Yes, and she could get us killed for treason.
Oh, fuck it, they're doing this. We're in now.
But right, so
I mean,
here's
you
the two
don't
things that...
care, but-
Arya, here's the two things, right? 100% yes. It's dumb to do that, especially to somebody who is a political part of the kingdom. However, secondary, maybe these people need to hear this about their king.
yep.
Thirdly, maybe the white lied.
Oh, I see what you did there.
It's not
White
bad, is it?
Ooh.
White lies would be a great session title.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll build it, don't worry.
Okay, good.
Sips tea.
Is it out of character? Is it a given that the white is allied with the Golden Order now?
No.
No, definitely not.
The white has never been allied with the Golden Order, ever.
Saved their ass. I thought they would at least respect her and kind of. Be
No,
buddies.
because remember, the white turned up and went, Red Dragon's bad! Boom! And then went, cool, this was Magnus' fault, bye! And left. There's a summary of that session.
Okay, I'm just
And
gonna say it.
Zedreka went, I don't have the effort to fight the white dragon. So, that's cool, honey, bye! And off she went. And then when Yuz went, okay, so Zedreka, we need to go fight the Wizard King, and she went, no. No, we don't. We have one fight just now. It's at the Abyss. Yeah. That is exactly how all that went, so...
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look kind of reluctant to say this, and obviously, like, yes, I know I'm saying something very stupid and unbelievable, but I will just say, the Winter King.
And she, like, I don't know, maybe our knife slides on our plate, right? It makes that,
Oh,
that,
it
that,
slides
that
towards
squeak noise, right? Like, that horrible, uncomfortable, oh! And she looks up and she goes, oh my. And she, like, she goes to say it and she kind of, like, whispers it. The Winter King.
I'm sorry, desperate times indeed, my lady.
Apparently so. Yusuf survived an encounter with the Great White. And, like, she looks quite taken by this. Because, I mean, you've basically told her you should have just had a chat with, like, the head of the evil dragons, right? Something that's part of, like, possibly a lot of myth, never mind actual history.
I'll just kind of butt in and just be like,
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the white, we might not be sitting here right now.
Oh, and why would that be? Have you been requested to perform some task hereby? Though, and again, like, she doesn't complete it this time, right? She doesn't say the Winter King. She just, like, goes to start it and kind of, like, just nods as if you get what I'm saying.
I go, no, but she helped us fight the
To
dragons.
pop up while
Those-
She sits up very straight. She goes,
gave away the sheet.
yeah. She sits up. She goes, she. How curious.
Damn it, Crumbar. I was gonna say
Mhm.
they, but
Aha. Yeah, the neutral they, as opposed to the definitive she. And yeah, so she sits up straight and she goes, she. So those particular rumors are true. The Winter King is female.
Does that pose a problem?
No, but it would probably settle a lot of bets within scholarly society and Horizon. She kind of laughs a bit to herself at that. Because obviously this is like a high noble political joke, right? That people obviously give a shit about, the gender of this dragon, even if it doesn't matter. Because obviously, a lot of people go, well, it's the Winter King, it's some badass male dragon guy, right? And obviously the idea that you said it's a woman is a big deal for her, being a politically
Yeah.
powerful woman.
That's awesome.
It's almost like she has an entire personality already. For a double one roll from an alleyway, perception check to find your party.
Hey.
I'll just set my tea over here.
Well, since we gave it away anyway, I'll say most beautiful one at that.
And she says, "A beauty to behold, and such power over the other dragons."
I'll kind of hold the crown in my hand, and I'll say, "The Dwarven King has bent the knee." I think, and
To
I'm trying
you?
to convey.
And she sits up straight again, as if impressed.
Oh no.
No,
He's merely
To her.
joined the cause.
no, he
No, I
actually
don't.
does, he is obsessed
It
with her,
doesn't.
right?
It doesn't matter, and it's.
You can kick him under the table if you want, by the way.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't quite know how to because I would just end up hurting myself. I didn't.
But
consider
it's still-
this, and then I was thinking,
Ah,
Also,
how many bruises can I have?
I like to believe you kicked the box that then bumps into his leg, though, that had the crown in it, that sat by his leg.
can you
Yeah.
ignore AC if you are willing to be kicked or
Also, I think kicking us under the table is not something we're going to roll for. It's just something you can do,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Like,
Also, worst
Yeah,
case
good.
scenario, I can put like a fireball in my hand and kind of gently touch your side. I think you'd probably
No.
feel that.
I think what she
Actually,
just said,
fire
right? Let's rewind back to the part where she says fireball in her hand, and then we go, "Daddy-o should be cooked." Boom, fireball in the room. Hell yeah!
Also,
Just,
just fire.
yeah, let's just see what happens. Burn everybody. Get these curtains to hell.
Except me. But everybody.
I didn't say I was throwing it.
I know.
just wanted to have it.
But yes, if you want to indicate under the table with your foot in a kinetic manner to Bastiel, you may.
Yes, I will do that.
And then you finish your sentence saying, "That can wait," hinting, "Shut up."
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to make a roll, though. For no reason.
Stealth roll.
no reason whatsoever.
For no
Sure.
reason.
No, it's
at
fine.
all.
That's fine. It was more about, things you don't know about, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, if someone's gonna interrupt me, then sure.
I think you just feel, obviously, the kinetic, on your leg when she kicks you. And you can obviously look up and read into the fact that she's saying, "That's okay for now." With the stream.
This is where she's pushing the panic button under the table.
Yeah, he needs a panic button apparently.
What? Okay, I mean, out of character,
Yes.
what exactly do we have left to hide from? What dangerous information do we even have left to hide? There's nothing. There's no reason not to just talk now. Is there? I actually don't remember. Or no.
I'll
I
just-
feel like we've perhaps spoken too much. As
Yeah,
it
but I mean,
is.
we're in now. I feel like if we half-ass it and we start,
Yeah.
reserving certain weird details, it's only going to hurt our attempt to
Yeah.
open her up. But
Okay.
What do you? Okay.
No, I was just thinking in the sense of we still don't really know much about what she does and where her allegiance is and everything, and
So,
would literally send word to Magna, and then he would intercept us before
So-
we even get to the
so
freaking
let's
Elven.
pause everybody's thoughts here just now, right? And let's find out, because obviously Sophie wasn't with the first half of the journey, so does
Mhm.
Sophie have any thoughts on what the party have now totally invested her into? I think it's maybe a good way to review this, shall we? Since, she is sat at the table as Kitlith at the moment.
Yeah.
Um, I really don't know. If they're saying that they don't know if they can trust her or not, then I don't know if we should tell her, obviously, all the secrets that we know.
Mm.
At the moment, though, so things that haven't been mentioned, you haven't mentioned Gil at the Abyss, right? You haven't mentioned Gil at the Abyss. You've only mentioned the fact that the Paladins have a problem that threatens the world that they're dealing with, right? And you have sent off to go get more help. The help involves bending the knee to the white so far. You haven't mentioned Eremos yet, or Justoria, but you have mentioned Hellholes. One second, everybody. Hello. We all good, everybody? So, everybody, sadly, rip our stream. So that's Roll20, and don't let the screen fool you. Roll20 and Discord dead for the moment. So until those come back, we don't have a redundancies in place just yet for such things. So we are going to end the session here. We will do the official end of this session at the start of next session, so everybody can catch what the session should have played out like. And yeah, technical issues. Sorry everybody, but what can we do? Plus, given the state of the world with lockdown, we don't necessarily know what level of support staff are in place for things like Discord and Roll20 at the moment, so who's to say it won't come back? I mean, I'm going to click Discord now and see if it just magically comes back, and if it does, woohoo, but no, it's still in its updating loop. If anyone knows any good fixes for this or knows when it's going to be back up, feel free to hit me up and let me know. And until then, thank you everybody that joined us. Sorry it was cut short, I was having loads of fun with the dinner with Cerule. But yes, we will catch up with you fine folks in the future to do the official ending of this. Goodbye everybody.